across the UK, online and on DAB.
He has made a covenant with the night, and with the darkness he is in agreement.
Uncut, after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
Right, so where were we? Good evening, dear listener. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee. Who that lady there with no microphone on?
Catherine Boyle. Got him. We got him.
How's your week been? Mine's been up and down. Ended with some exciting news that I can't... You know it, Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say it, and I hate those people that go, I've had a really good email, and I can't tell you what it is, but I can't. But it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Genuinely, like proper... Oh, yes, please. I'll take one of those.
It's like one of those bits of news that you get in a dream, and then when you wake up in the morning, you go, oh, no.
I think I had a dream that one of my good friends, Spencer, got separated from his wife. I don't know if they're married, actually.
Well, that would be bad news.
Well, but then I thought, but today I was thinking about it, and I think I might have had this dream ages ago. You can get rid of the bed now, Alex. You can get rid of it now. And I think I thought it was real. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know if it's real or if it's a dream or not.
Well, I take it you don't do Christmas cards then, because surely that would have been notable.
Now here we go. Let's start on a sad note. 0344 499 1000. It's our last show before Christmas, dear listener. But we're back New Year's Eve, at 10 o'clock for 4 hours for people. It's a New Year's Eve party for people that don't like New Year's Eve. We'll hardly even mention New Year's Eve. We'll just sit here and ramble and talk nonsense and take your calls. But if you want to give us a call now, I've got an empty switchboard. And a teaser, and not even a teaser, this is our gift to you, and it was a gift to me, for the radio geeks that have been following me for 15 years or more. Lady Alex is answering the phone. Someone I haven't worked with for about 12 years. It'll mean nothing to many of you, but I mentioned it on Twitter, Alex. People went crazy.
Has it gone off?
It's all gone off on
Do you remember
Twitter.
when Kim Kardashian, showed her backside with the champagne? It's like that. You've broken the internet.
Eclipse that.
It's nice to see you, man. How you doing? We both kind of had, I think, up and down years this year.
Yeah, we've had interesting years.
Interesting years. Well, we have to go out for coffee. It's so nice to see you, man. So I've not had Alex on the other side of the glass for, it's 12, 13 years.
I've got to say, when you said Lady Alex was on the desk today, I was expecting someone slightly less beardy.
It's so nice to see you, man. It's really nice to see you. So if you phone up, you'll speak to him. He'll take your call and he will give you a call back. And there's no real agenda for this show. We try and avoid politics. Brexit's happened. Now it's done. It's finished. I think Brexit has been finished tonight. They voted it and it's finished, which is great news. So we never need to do a phone in on that again. And it's the last show before Christmas. So I've got some news stories. I've got some bits and pieces I want to talk about, but as always, between 10 and 1 on Talk Radio, we shall allow you to do your own agenda, really. 0344 499 1000. Don't swear, don't be libelous. Those are the only kind of rules. What was I talking about? Something very, very important before.
Exciting email.
Exciting email. But that's the end of that, because I can't really talk any more about the exciting
and annoying
email.
people that go on about exciting emails and don't give any more detail.
That was it. So my builders are back after being away. The builders are now back for a few days, and my builder is not Arab, Albanian. Very similar letters, very different places. He's Albanian, and he said something weird to me today, and I went, "You're talking rubbish." He said, No. First of all, he said, "I've never been to hospital." Right. I went, "What?" He said, "I've never been to hospital. I don't even know what blood type I am." I don't know what blood type I am. You're a rare one, Catherine.
Yeah, I'm O negative.
Okay. I don't know what I am.
I'm O negative.
Is O is the common one?
I don't know.
Jesus. Does it, back in the day,
I just know that everyone can have mine, but I can only have mine.
Back in the day, everyone knew their blood types. You had to know your blood type, but now no one really knows it. And also back in the day, before DNA, that was how they would determine if someone was someone's dad. It was by the blood test. But it still was like, that must have been like 35% accurate.
And also, that's dodgy, because my daughters are my blood type, not their dad's.
So your husband is not the father of your children?
I'm definitely the mother.
Okay, well that's
And here's the thing, most women who've given birth will know their blood type because you have to check it out because there can be complications if you have a different blood type from your children.
James says, are we talking about J.K. Rowling, gender and sex tonight, Ian? Give us a call if you want to talk about that. I'm up on that story, guys. I'm up on that story. I got it covered. If you want to talk about it, but if you want to, it's a hornet's nest as far as I'm concerned. But if you want to talk about it, 0344 499 1000.
Request.
Yes, sir.
I would really like someone who is affected by the comments to talk about it.
We're all affected.
Well,
we are all affected.
Sure, but
we are all affected by it. Men, women, and trans men and trans women.
Yeah.
Here's the we are, and I will go back to the exciting story about my builder having never been to hospital.
Can't wait for
I promise. But we are all affected by it. And I have my views on J.K. For those who don't know, J.K. Rowling is supporting. It gets very complicated. This is why I was avoiding it. It's to do with trans issues and what makes a trans woman a woman, if indeed it does make a woman a woman.
There was an employment tribunal whereby a woman was accused of being hateful towards her trans colleagues.
We're doing it, aren't we? We're doing it.
That's what I'm saying.
Doing it for
and J.K. Rowling had an opinion on it.
And I've got an opinion on it.
03444991000.
But here's why I think my opinion is valid. My opinion is valid, but is less valid than everyone else. Is less valid than women's opinions, because a lot of the arguments seems to be about trans women. So people, I will use the wrong language. I'm old dinosaur. Please phone me up and correct me because I want to learn. Okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not using the wrong language to cause offence and to be, an Asian provocateur.
Oh.
The pant sellers.
They're excellent.
I'm doing it just because I'm a dinosaur, right? But the issue seems to be around people who are born biologically men who wish to transition. Thank you. To women who they're born with
who feel that they are women.
Feel that they are women, okay. And a lot of some of the aggression, some of the dispute, some of the objections to the rights that trans women are being given, a lot of the objections to the rights are coming from cis women. And this is why I believe my view is important, but less important than those of cis women, because I'm a man that would be telling a woman, a cis woman, that her opinion is invalid. And I would also be a man who is telling someone who is biologically born a man but is actually a trans woman that I think their rights are more valid to become a woman than those of someone who was born biologically a woman. Gosh, it's a minefield, isn't it? So I'm aware that women, cis women, would be. Why would they want to hear? You know what I'm saying?
Some might.
I know. If you want to call in about that, you can call in about that. So my builder today says, I've never been in hospital. I went, what? Never been in hospital. I said, what about when you were born?
And he's a builder? Yeah. What, he's never, put a hammer on his thumb or anything like that?
He's a very good builder, actually. He's disappointed that I don't like the underfloor heating he's installed. I think it's rubbish. And I think
your decision is bad, but continue.
So he said, I've never been to hospital. I said, what about when you were born? He said, oh no, I was born in a forest. I went, what? He said, I was born in a forest. I said, no, you weren't. Shut up. He said, yeah, I was born in a forest. He said, when I was born, we lived in an isolated area, and there was heavy, heavy snow, and the snow was so bad that we couldn't drive to the hospital. So my mum, my dad and my aunt walked to the hospital through the forest, but her waters broke.
Right.
So she gave birth to me in a forest. And do you know how they broke the umbilical cord?
Twig.
Stones.
Shut up.
The aunt the aunt.
He's having you on.
This is Christian. You've met him.
This is like when my granddad said that he was born in the jungle.
Was he?
No.
Did he say he was?
He's a flipping docker.
It was, so his aunt went around looking for sharp stones to smash the umbilical cord.
I mean, it is a problem, I would imagine.
I mean, we can do it as a phone-in. It's a tough one.
Why not wait for a passing rabbit? And
Have you ever delivered a baby in a forest? 0344 499 1000. But then his next story was when he bit half of his tongue off, and then he went to the hospital, and I went, aha! You went to the hospital. He said, oh, I did for that when I bit half of my tongue off.
Oh, so it's not true.
And then he showed me his tongue, and it's very, very short. It's a very short tongue.
I think he's having you on.
I don't know what's going on, guys. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you'd be very, very welcome. Let's go to Dredge. Good evening, Dredge.
Why do you want to go and see Cats?
Oh.
Because I love Cats. You know, I've got 4 myself. And, you mean the movie?
I know why he wants to go.
Oh, the movie. Kath, get up some of the reviews of Cats. Dredge, it looks like the biggest car crash of the century. My friend Scott went and saw it and said it was like the Mighty Boosh. I cannot wait. I don't know any of the songs. I know Magical Mr. Mistopheles, and I know Memories. Is that from Cats?
Yes.
I know those 2 songs. But then I was reading a review, and apparently in some of the scenes they forgot to do the CGI. So there's one scene when there's like a woman dressed in grey, like in the background,
right.
And then the guy realised they hadn't put the cat body on. And then there's another bit with Judi Dench where you see her hand and it's a cat hand.
Yeah.
Paw. And then you see it later on in the movie and it hasn't got fur on it and she's got a wedding ring on. So, Dredge, there's no...
I want to see it
Some
now.
of these cats... The female cats have breasts.
Mm-hmm.
Not one of these cats has a beanhole. Now, as an owner of 4 cats, Dredge, I can assure you, cats' backsides are integral to their daily upkeep. So I want to go and see this film. It looks like it's going to be the greatest movie of all time.
Reviews. This
Here
is
we
my
go.
favourite, and there have been so many on Twitter.
Read
Thank
the reviews
you.
on Twitter, man. It's brilliant.
This is my favourite one, and it's a compilation by Joseph S. Peets, who says, I would pay to read a book of just Cats reviews, and it's because of things like this. Janelle Riley, Cats is pure nightmare fuel. The rejects from the island of Dr. Moreau putting on the show is bad enough, but add to that more crotch shots than a Michael Bay movie and every imaginable pun, and that still won't prepare you for the hellscape that is children's faces CGI'd onto mice. Then there's Robbie Collins.
You still suspicious, Dredge?
Glad to report that Cats is everything you'd hope for and more. A mesmerisingly ugly fiasco that makes you feel like your brain is being eaten by a parasite. A viewing experience so stressful that it honestly brought on a migraine. Cats is the worst movie I've seen this year, says in capitals Tyler Coates. A truly awful and ugly film that I wish I could erase from my brain. And one more from Carl Buchanan. Watching Cats is like stumbling upon an unholy and heretofore unknown genre of porn. Heretofore. Every time these horny fur demons tongue a milk bowl and start moaning, I was certain the FBI would raid the theatre.
Dredge, now, would you like to reconsider your opening gambit, sir?
Well, heretofore, gone tomorrow.
Doesn't it sound delicious to you?
Blimey, I mean, do you know who made it? I mean, who's made this?
I think it's actually made by Cats, isn't it?
Yeah, I
don't know, but it's got big names. It's got Idris Elba, Judi Dench, Ian McKellen, Taylor Swift, and James Corden. These are big stars.
Although I've got to tell you, over the weekend, was it, or the week, I was watching Sky Arts and they had the original stage play of Cats on, right?
Beautiful.
That's weird as well.
It twisted my melon. It was Rosemary Ford. What's on the board, Miss Ford? Slinking around.
Dredge is probably the only person listening who would know who Rosemary Ford is.
She was in
I
it.
do know who that
Elaine Page in a
5
shabby coat being the midnight one.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
But the movie, Dredge, you and me, we're going to smoke a doobie and we're going to go and sit in the back row and we're going to giggle.
It sounds good, actually. Yeah, now you've convinced me.
Genuinely, I can't wait. I mean, I'm not going to pay like 18 quid to go and sit in the pictures. I'll wait until it's like on the last week for 3 quid or until it comes on the telly.
Can we see it in 3D?
I don't know. I would have thought so somewhere, yeah.
Oh, it sounds revolting.
Oh.
But yeah, looking forward to the sequel, Dogs. But yeah,
Dredge, come on.
I went to see the Star Wars. I'm not going to spoil it, but the butler did it.
Okay. You didn't go and see Star Wars, did you?
Yeah, man.
Really? Is it a satisfying conclusion to an often disappointing series?
Oh, is it finished?
This is the last one.
No.
So last one in the 9. But they'll do like spin-off movies and stuff.
Exactly. It's the last one till the next one.
Yeah.
I thought it was good, but what I kept thinking, you know, Adam Driver, who plays the nasty person.
He's the guy with the moly face, right?
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, got a very moly face.
Long face.
He was like, you know, it was right in the middle of some big scene with, you know, hundreds of things blowing up and loads of incredible dramatic music.
Is this a spoiler alert, Dredge?
No.
Okay.
Kylo Ren comes down. I was thinking, all I could think was he looks like Bobby Gillespie.
He does look like Bobby Gillespie, the lead singer from the Primal Screams.
So that was distracting.
That would put you off. Bands don't make movies anymore, and this I think the last band movie was Spice World, which I watched about 3 or 4 years ago when my boy was going through a big Spice Girls thing, and I loved it.
I suppose concert movies don't count?
Don't count. I'm talking about proper acting movies. Ideally when they're not playing themselves, which they do in Spice World, but I enjoyed Spice World, but if any bands have made, I started to watch the other day, it's got mud in it, Born to Rock and Roll or something it's called, but that was unwatchable. But bands, get off your backsides and go out there and go and do some acting, make some movies.
Talking of music type stuff, what was Ronnie Spector like?
What was she like?
Dredge, it was amazing. For those who don't know, we were off last night because we booked tickets. We got free tickets, if I'm honest, because we had her on the show to go and see Ronnie Spector from the Ronettes, Be My Baby, all of that stuff. Shepherd's Bush Empire. It was packed. It looked empty until right at the last. Everyone came in right at the last minute.
I think it's something to do with the age of the audience, is that they were prompt.
And I mean, the first half was only half an hour long.
Was it?
Yeah, and she wasn't on stage for all of it. But she's 76. She sounds incredible. When she came out on stage, I was giving her a standing ovation. No one else did. And I really wanted to get up and rock. No one did. Then at the end, when she did Be My Baby, and I grabbed Kath's hand, I said, Kath, we're going down the front and we're going to have a little boogie to this. And we did, man.
And then everyone got up.
Everyone got up and joined us. We were literally right at the front of the stage, no more than 2 feet away from her. She touched my hand as she walked past, and she's singing Be My Baby, and I saw Mummy kissing Santa Claus to us. It was incredible, John. And her voice is amazing, still.
She's tiny, isn't she?
Yeah.
Absolutely tiny, but that voice, my God.
It was great, man. It was great. Really, really good, actually. Came away feeling as though I'd seen something very magic.
But the audience generally were quite sort of reserved.
Yeah. Until Be My Baby, right at the end. The last 4 songs,
It was 40 minutes of sedate whoopee.
Yeah.
Followed by a 10-minute frenzy.
And some people behind us talking all the way through it, and I wanted to punch them on the nose.
But not even whispering, Dredge. Just normal voices, as if they were on their own in the living room.
Scumbags.
Oh, that's the thing, isn't it? People now think that they're on their own in the living room.
Yeah.
Dredge, have a lovely Christmas.
Hey, man, and you guys.
Thank you, my dear. Up your bum. 0344 499 1000 is... Oh, I nearly clicked the block button there when I meant to click the hang up button. 0344 499 1000, the late night alternative, weeknights from 10 with Iain Lee and Katherine Boyle on Talk Radio.
After hours amusement for anarchists, air hostesses and jet-lagged Antipodeans.
Can I, Cobras? Can I crash on your floor?
The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Bands in movies, I'm reminded, and I've not seen this, but I've been told this is genuinely brilliant. Thank you, Paul David. You have to watch Bula Quo, the Status Quo movie set somewhere like Bali. It's magnificent. I've heard it's a really good film. So it might actually be my Sunday. That might be my Sunday, is watching Status Quo acting in a movie. They were in Coronation Street, weren't they, the Quo?
Yeah, I vaguely remember
Bruce Hornsby, not Bruce Hornsby, Bruce, I met him. That's the actor's name, I'm doing the actor's name.
Is it Bruce Parry?
Bruce Parry, no, you're thinking of Mike Parry.
No, I'm not.
It's Bruce...
Les Battersby.
No, but I'm doing the actor's name.
Yeah.
And do you know he was suspected? No, he wasn't. Bruce... Go on, Google it.
Jones.
Bruce Jones. He found one of the Yorkshire Ripper's victims.
Yeah.
And that's why, because he had a little bit of a booze problem a while ago. I think he's all sorted now. I hope he's all sorted. And I think that was one of the triggers for him getting a bit into the drink, is that he found one of the Yorkshire Ripper's victims. And I think for a while was one of the suspects.
Well, I mean, that whole investigation was a mess.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why they brought in this thing called Holmes, which was a kind of cross-referencing.
Sherlock Holmes, the detective, I've heard of him.
No, a cross-referencing
Yeah, I've heard of
thing,
him.
because what they were working off were cards.
He's got the pipe, hasn't he?
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
So the police officer...
Plays the violin.
Right. They were working off like...
Rumoured he was a cocaine addict.
Who?
Sherlock Holmes.
No, opium. And cocaine, but lots of people used cocaine back in those days.
So cocaine was right.
It was more opium. Not rumoured, actual fact.
The star-studded film adaptation of classic musical Cats has been savaged by critics as one to forget.
Meow.
The claws are out for Oscar-winning director Tom Hooper. What's Tom Hooper directed that's won Oscars? I've never heard of this guy. Sounds like some kind of jerk.
Didn't he do Les Miserables?
Oh, okay. Version of Andrew Lloyd Webber's hit West End show. Not even an all-star cast, including Taylor Swift, Idris Elba, James Corden, Judi Dench and Ian McKellen could stop it being slated. Website Rotten Tomatoes gives an average score based on critics worldwide. Last night it had Cats on just 16%.
Here's the thing. Not everyone's going to like Cats.
No, but...
Some people are dog people.
It's being reviewed by dogs. Snoopy's going.
Some people are, not everyone like the stage play. Not everyone's into that stuff. You don't have to
but
go
I think
see
it's
it.
also I think it's a bad film.
Oh.
One scathing review by the Daily Telegraph said the only way to fix Cats would be to spay it because it's an all-time disaster. Mirror film reviewer Chris Honeysett wrote it had a threadbare plot, adding Judi Dench, Ian McKellen and Idris Elba do their best, but James Corden and Rebel Wilson are a unique form of horror. It left me feline embarrassed for all concerned. Feline sounds like feeling.
Yeah. See what he did.
Movie magazine Empire's review hit out. There are so many eye-meltingly bonkers moments, so many baffling creative choices. That's why I want to go and see it!
That sounds a mess.
I'm off to see it. If you've seen it, man, 0344 499.
I want to see it. Don't you go and see it without me.
1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call.
Do it.
Let us go to Alistair. Good evening, Alistair.
Evening, Catherine.
Good evening to you, sir.
That was a long old breath. It took just about 30 seconds in breath to get to the good evening.
I'm a bit nervous.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know. It's just nice to talk to you again after so long.
You spoke to us on Saturday.
Well, it's a long time.
It's a long time. Who knows who did that? How many... here we go. Can we work this out? How many people have died since Saturday? Because I bet it's loads. I bet we've lost listeners because they passed away. Maybe, and if maybe some of your relatives, dear listener, have passed away. If so, I'm not making light of that. I just wonder how many people have died since Saturday. You never know, Alistair. You never know.
Actually, it sounded like you enjoyed the show on Saturday, you guys.
We had a great time for those who came and saw us at the sold-out Rabbit Hole in Putney on Saturday. Thank you very much indeed. Although, here's the thing. If you weren't there, this happened, right? I bought a brand new pair of jeans from The Gap. Brand new jeans. Oh, stop it. Brand new jeans, Alistair. First time I'd worn them, right? 50 quid.
I saw the picture.
50 quid reduced, had 50% off voucher to 25 quid, right? And as we were setting up the stage, I just had a little sort of tear, but I didn't think anything of it, right? And then when we came out on the stage and we're dancing to Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss.
We were singing it, we were performing it.
All I was doing like, you know the sort of Cockney dance where it's like the Cockney dance, like that.
Knees up. Knees up.
Knees up, Mother Brown,
Knees
right?
up, yeah.
And I heard this, and I felt, and my whole backside...
No, one cheek.
No, well, the whole thigh, the left thigh or right thigh was on display. The jeans had ripped. Outrageous behaviour.
Terrible.
And
did you have to cover him up, Catherine, when you were walking?
Well, he made out they wanted me to cover him up, but then it became a thing. And
I
of course
enjoyed
he was
hanging
showing
in the
off.
breeze. I walked about with my satchel hung very, very low. And then we went out for dinner afterwards with Sam, who normally takes the phones, and we bumped into our friend Peter, who was at the show. And when I went to the toilet during the middle of the meal, I had to get my satchel and hang it low so that no one could see.
Happy coincidence, you were wearing new pants and they were clean.
There we go, you see. There you go, you see. Anyway, Alistair, what can we do for you this evening?
Well, first of all, I'll say, I hope you and your families have a great Christmas.
Thank you, Bobby.
Peace and love. Secondly, I'm filling up here, I know.
What?
But, I've got a documentary which you really should avoid, in case you see it.
Is this the cats thing?
Yeah.
Now, what is it? It's called, now don't say the title, it's something like, Don't F with Cats or something, isn't it?
That's correct.
What is this? Because I've never heard of this, and it's just started, then I saw a hashtag and I clicked on it, but I still don't know what the documentary is.
Well, the subtitle, the subtitle is, Don't F with Cats, Search for an Internet Killer. So you can sort of tell that it's a bit dark, and it's a classic crime documentary, really. And for those who like that kind of thing, it really is quite interesting. But it's certificated 18 for pictures of animal cruelty and pictures of real dead bodies.
Oh, no. I don't like the real dead bodies.
And it does involve cats.
Oh, I don't like the real dead bodies in documentaries. I feel I've seen it. Unless it's something, I don't know if I necessarily agree with what I'm about to say. So I'm going to say it, but I don't know if I agree with this. I don't want to see dead bodies in documentaries. And this is what I was going to say. Unless it's something like a documentary about Auschwitz or the Nazis, to make a visual reminder, a visual image of just how atrocious those crimes were. But I don't know if I necessarily agree with that statement either. Certainly not lingering shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's not lengthy at all, so it's certainly not that bad, but it is obviously for people who don't like that kind of thing.
Yes.
Then obviously I wouldn't recommend it.
You're a very sensitive man for warning us.
Of course. But that actually the guy who becomes the subject of the documentary, very interesting guy in terms of his psychopathy and where he's come from, and what he's doing and why he does it.
I'm going to check it out. I'm going to. That's so Sunday. So far, I'm watching Bola Quo, the Status Quo movie, and Don't F with Cats. Hey, Alistair, are you all set for your AA meetings over Christmas?
I missed one last night, Ian, would you believe?
That's okay. I would believe that, because that's life.
I've got one on Monday.
Yep.
If I go away, I'll miss the Thursday, but then back on the Monday.
I've started going to AA meetings as opposed to NA meetings, and because I've got a new sponsor who's in AA, and because we've had a few nights off this week, he's kind of invited me the first one was last Friday when we weren't in because they were doing the political show, right? Yeah. And he said, oh, well, why don't you come to this meeting this AA meeting that I'm going to? And I went, Alistair, and I'm not going to break any confidence or, anything like that, any anonymity, but something very magical happened in that meeting. Someone came over to me at the end of the meeting and said, you don't know me, but I am, and I'm not going to say who they are or even what the connection is because it'll be too many clues. No. But it blew my mind. It was afterwards I phoned up Kath and said, my God, something has just shifted. Something has just, the universe is telling me something. It was a real, what we call in the rooms, it was a real higher power moment. And since then, Alistair, I've been to a few meetings and stuff's just started happening. It's weird, man. It's really weird. It's proper magic. Stuff has started happening. And so I'm going to meetings. I've got a good one I'm going to go to on New Year's Day, if it's open. I think it's open. So yeah, I'm loving the AA meetings. Yeah.
I mean, I recently, I would say, month, when they talk about in the prayer, the serenity, the feeling of serenity, I mean, I'm starting to get that, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Where I actually think, in a particular situation I find myself in, I know that in the past, I used to get anxiety and all sorts of thoughts like that coming through me. And now I just think, well, It's fine.
This week,
don't worry about it.
My and by the way, me and Kath, I'm sure I can speak for Kath on this, have been getting the serenity from you for the last 4 or 5 months, probably the last 4 months. Do you reckon, Kath? The serenity from Alistair, just speaking to him and when we've met him.
Yeah, it feels
different
like,
vibe.
It feels like you have, you're letting, how would I put it? You're letting things wash over you a bit more, but not in a passive way, in a kind of choosing what's important, recognising and being grateful for what's important, and letting a lot of other stuff just go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still, I've still got goals that I need to work towards in terms of my recovery. But in terms of, the situations, and you bump into people, and sometimes they're very nice, and sometimes they can be a bit cynical. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what they think. I started praying again this week. Because my sponsor said, "You've been praying lately." I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "Well, I'll give it a go today." Since then, Alistair, things have just fallen into place. Things of handing it over to the universe, the cosmos, God, your higher power, whatever you want to call it. Things have started to fall into place and have ended. This week has ended. It's been an up and down week, and this week has ended with me getting an email that is beyond my wildest dreams. And I can't say what it is. Hopefully in the new year I'll be able to say if it definitely happens. But an offer of a piece of work that is beyond my wildest dreams. Imagine. The week I started praying. All right, it's a coincidence. Fine. I'll carry on, see if there's any more coincidences.
Yes.
It's nuts, isn't it? Alistair, have a lovely Christmas, mate. We will speak to you hopefully on New Year's Eve. We're doing the New Year's Eve show for people who don't like New Year's Eve.
Including us.
Sorry?
Including us.
I can't stand it. It's a waste of money. Stay in, save your money. 10 till 2. Is it 10 till 2? It is, isn't it? 10 till 2, New Year's Eve. When is New Year's Eve? Is it the 31st again?
31st, yeah.
Right. Stay in New Year's Eve, and we will keep you entertained.
Yeah.
We'll certainly be making noise. Right, let's find out, let's have a listen to an advert for one of our colleagues, 0344 499 1000. This, dear listener, is Talk.
No, I haven't got one.
You haven't got a trail?
No.
Come on the microphone and tell me. Unbelievable. Lady Alex, not worked with him for 15 years, and now I remember why I never worked with this guy. There's no trail.
No, they haven't put any in there, because everyone's off, aren't they?
Like nobody's Hang on a minute. You're saying that when everybody's off, that things don't get done? Trust me, when people are here, things don't get done.
When we leave tonight, we've got to lock up. Is that what you're saying?
So, just for the rest of the show, have we just got adverts?
Yeah, 20 past, 22.
Beautiful. Then in that case, we carry on talking. Thank you for the heads up, sir. Wow. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Be very, very welcome. Just since this meeting last Friday, a week ago, magical things started happening.
I think you're thinking differently as well. Like you're approaching.
I'm a clever guy. Well. I'm a very clever guy. I get what you're saying. You're saying that I'm too clever.
More humble.
Oh, I'm the humblest guy I know. I'm so humble. But it's funny.
No, but you're putting a lot of stuff. Like you'll say to me occasionally, "Oh, that was a step, whatever that you just did."
Yeah.
It's being incorporated a lot more into the way you're living.
We asked how many people had died since Saturday.
Yeah.
I've got two wildly conflicting numbers. CJ says it's 909,600. No.
What?
909,600.
He seems very sure of that number. Where was he on the night in question?
909,000. So just under 1 million. Right? Just shy of 1 million. Right? And then Paul says 8,400.
That depends. I suppose it depends where they're casting their net.
Well, Paul says in the UK, he says 1,400 people die each day in the UK. So it will be 8,400. I'm guessing CJ is doing the world. That's the rumour. I'm guessing CJ is doing the whole world.
I would hope so, otherwise.
Jamie says, I went to see Bula Quo at the cinema. As a lifelong fan, I was stunned by this film. There were no words. I have so much to say about it, but I don't want to ruin it for you. Enjoy.
Now, is that an enjoy or is that an enjoy?
I'm so excited about Bula Quo. So excited. Let's go to Jackie. Good evening, Jackie.
Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Kath.
Hey, Jackie.
What can we do for you on this Holy Friday?
Holy Friday. Okay, very, very quickly. I just wanted to say a very, very happy Christmas and a really good New Year.
It's Merry Christmas. This is my bugbear. What is the song? How does the song go?
Which one?
We wish you a
happy Christmas.
Catherine.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. We wish you
Happy New Year.
That's it. People who say, "Oh, happy Christmas," no, I don't want a happy. I want a Merry Christmas. I want a happy. I'll have a happy New Year, but I want a Merry Christmas.
You can't have a Merry Christmas. You're in AA.
Well, I don't need booze to have a good time.
Oh, really?
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. If anyone says Happy Christmas, I will have to karate chop them to the floor.
There you go. Yeah. And
yes.
I'm surrounded by cats at the moment, so I'm in bed. I've got work in the morning, so I just wanted to.
You're digging the cats at the moment?
Pardon?
You're loving the cats at the moment?
My cats are beautiful. I just got a new throw for the bed, and they absolutely love it. So they've all started joining me again.
Yes.
Can't move.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I was woken up not last night, but the other night, the night before, 4 a.m, by my kittens, Patty and George, just decided that it was Fight Club time, and so they're literally running, chasing each other across the bed, under the bed, up over the bed, they're just going around in a loop for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
just going, babies, will you stop?
Well, you know, I've had my kitten spayed a couple of weeks ago, so we're getting her ready for the time when we might let her out. We've got her a collar with a bell, and it's driving us nuts. And I think she's learnt how to, I don't know how she's doing it, but she has managed to creep up on me a few times. I think she might be running along holding it.
Need a bigger bell.
Maybe.
We're gonna need a bigger bell.
But in the night, though, all you can hear is flipping jingle bells. And she's really good. She doesn't knock things over, but she has found the radio next to my bed. And so, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden, boom, and it'll be loud because I'll have had it on to listen to in the bathroom.
Be Daryl Jackson. Daryl Morris.
So good. So much fun.
So much fun. Jackie, have a lovely Christmas. Thank you very much indeed. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
Moonlit musings from mums, madams, and meat packers.
Oh, never mind, I must have misheard.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
The station's brilliant.
On Talk Radio.
Let me ask you a little favour, dear listener. When like me and Kath are off this week, and your other favourite radio presenters off, they have to get someone to fill in, right? Because you can't really have 3 hours of
thinking time,
dead air. Yeah. So you have to get someone to fill in. Do us a favour. If you don't like the person that fills in, don't tweet them, or tweet me and them saying this person is rubbish, because I don't care. If I'm off, I don't care who's in. I don't care. I'm probably not listening. Unless it's Katherine. I'm probably not listening. I'm probably doing something else or sleeping, imagine. But also, it's really rude. It's really, really rude to tweet me or the person that is filling in going, I don't like their show. It's not as good as your show.
Think of it this way. Imagine someone standing behind you at work, someone who doesn't do what you do for a living, telling you how rubbish you are at what you're doing. Yeah. It wouldn't happen, would it?
It's rude. And maybe you're doing it because you want to show loyalty to me. It doesn't display loyalty to me. It shows ill manners. Shows really ill manners. And also, I've done the gig where I fill in for someone.
Yeah.
And I've had those tweets, right? And those emails and those texts coming in. You're rubbish. When's the other person? You're rubbish. What are you doing? When's the other person coming back? It's really horrible. You come in as a job to do 3 hours of radio because the other person is off, I don't know, is off sick or is on holiday or is, for whatever reason, right? And it's not their gig, and they're kind of a little bit nervous because I don't know that tech op and don't know how these faders work, and I don't know the kind of got a vague idea of how the show goes, and I'll kind of try. Just don't send them a tweet saying you're rubbish. You're rubbish. I can't wait for you to come back, Ian. Because actually, it makes me think less of you. It makes me think it's not me. It doesn't bring you closer to me. It makes me think less of you.
I had about 2 years of that when I took over someone else's program. Yeah. I didn't take over. They weren't hired again. Yeah. I was given my own show.
Yeah.
2 years of people. There was this and it was two blokes in particular who had daughters, right? just going for me. Just relentless
Really
every
annoying.
single day. All right, maybe. But they were listening to me more than my dad was.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah. So listen, if I'm off for, Catherine and I are off for 2 weeks now. I think it got Howard Hughes for most of it. We're back for New Year's Eve. We will keep plugging that because that's going to be a right old laugh. But we're off for 2 weeks. But the next 2 weeks, and we'll have time off in the new year, I suppose, at some point. Just, if you don't like give them a try. Give them half an hour, right? And if you don't like that half an hour, maybe come back in 2 hours' time, or come back in the next day and listen at a different time. And if you don't like it, then it's not for you. Listen to something else. Go and read a book. Go and meditate. Go and cook a meal. Go and clean the bath. Go to bed early. Go and have a bath. Go and make love to your partner. Go and do something.
Do something that enriches your soul.
Do something. Do not go, right, where's my phone? Right. You, at the person on now, and at Iain Lee and Katherine, this person is rubbish and I don't like them. There's a good chance you're going to get muted. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Mike.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Mike.
How are you, man?
This very second in time, I'm okay.
Good. Right. You mentioned about alcohol. Are you having a problem?
No, I'm not. No, are you having a problem?
I have had, and still am. Yeah.
What do you class as a problem?
Well, having an addiction to alcohol.
Well, what I'm asking is, how does that manifest itself?
Well, because I've tried to get jobs in radio, and nobody wants to take me on as a radio presenter, my love.
What's that got to do with alcohol?
Because it depresses me, that's why. Because nobody wants to take... You know what it is, right? I actually tried for a job at Virgin Radio as a jingle producer, but I didn't get in... I tried to get a phone call back.
Isn't it funny? It's not the question I asked.
Well, what was the question you asked then?
How does your problem with alcohol... How does your addiction with alcohol, as you call it, manifest itself?
Depression.
Again, it's not what I'm asking. It's not what I'm asking. What do you do with alcohol? What do you define as alcohol addiction?
I abuse it. I drink every couple of weeks.
Right.
You know, I actually binge drink, and I'm actually having a drink now because I've just had some bad news. My mum's in hospital.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
No, it's okay. I thought it was a stroke, but it's not. It's just dehydration. So she's in the Kiwi Hospital in Gateshead. So that's all taken care of. That's fine. But I just thought, you know what? I've had a really, really horrible day. I've been in the hospital.
I'll do something that makes me more depressed.
Yes.
Yeah. How's that working out?
Well, the alcohol making us more depressed.
No. How's your solution tonight working for you?
Well, it's making me a little bit happier than normal, because when I came home tonight,
I don't believe you. I don't believe you're happier. And I certainly don't believe that happiness will last will still be going at, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning. What do you reckon?
I don't know. You know,
what does your past experience show you?
My past experience shows me that alcohol's no good for you.
There you go.
It causes depression, if anything.
Yeah, there you go.
But I've been on medication now for about 5 years now. So, you know, I'm used to it all. So the medication is working.
Yeah. But then you keep drowning
alcohol, Yes, pretty much so, yes. The alcohol.
Okay, well, I'll tell you my story. I am addicted to drugs and alcohol. My main drugs were weed, cocaine, and ecstasy. And I was suffering from depression, and I was going to see a really good psychiatrist and paying a lot of money, and was going there for a couple of years, and he was giving me all these different combinations of pills, and he couldn't quite work out why it wasn't curing my depression. And he said, do you take recreational drugs? And I went, well, yeah, I take this amount of cocaine and this amount of ecstasy, and I smoke this amount of weed. He went, aha, I see why this isn't working. So eventually, I managed to, by going to Narcotics Anonymous, I managed to give up drugs and alcohol. And I got clean for 13 years, and then I went through a really bad patch in my life, and I stopped going to meetings, and I went to Australia to do I'm a Celebrity, and I came back, and I started doing drugs and alcohol again, and I had 3 months back out there doing a little bit more research, realised I still was an addict and an alcoholic, and so I've been clean and sober for nearly 22 months. And I got clean and sober by going to NA and by going to AA and by listening to the suggestions of those people that had walked the path that I am now walking in.
Well, I went to a place called Evolve, which is like a local place where you go to discuss it and, have meetings about your alcohol problem. And you go on some kind of program where they try and discuss your behaviour with alcohol, and that was fine. I mean, I actually passed that, and I got a whole certificate and things saying that I'd stopped. Yeah.
Wow.
And I had to wear this big sort of like university type gown and things like that, and
I got the gift of not craving alcohol anymore.
Well. Since I've been on this medication, my personality has changed because I never had the guts to phone a radio station before.
Okay.
But, I mean, with me being from Newcastle, of course, being on the radio as a presenter, I just feel that the accent's not accepted, on the radio these days. But, I mean,
I don't think that's true. I think accents are... I think accents are almost nothing these days. Almost. Not quite, but almost nothing. I think if you're good, you get on. And isn't it funny how you stopped talking about booze?
Yeah, but I'm still drinking it though. I'm on a bottle of Desperados at the minute.
I don't know what that is. Why do you go to AA?
Because Evolve can do equally as
remind me what you're holding in your hand that isn't the phone?
Well, it is the phone, but to be on another hand.
Yeah, exactly. So, how's that Evolve program working to stop you drinking?
Yeah, well, that was my fault though, because I was clean for about.
Right. So, how's that Evolve? So, why don't you? Okay. I don't know what to say. My suggestion is, if you really want to stop drinking, the way I stopped drinking was by going to AA.
So you recommend personally AA?
Yep. AA and NA saved my life twice.
Twice? Wow, that's astounding.
That's all I got. I'm sure the people at Evolve are great. Never heard of it, can't comment on it, but I'm sure their heart is in the right place. All I can tell you is what saved me.
Another thing as well, do you remember seeing a person called Ye Old Fox on your stream on Twitch?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
You mentioned me a couple of times. I know that because that's.
Okay, I don't remember because lots of people come and watch me on there. Next time, say hello and say that's who you are.
I said that.
I don't remember. I won't remember it, Mike. I'm not being rude, but I won't remember it. There's a lot of people that say stuff, and I read it and I take it all in, but I don't remember it.
No, that's fine. But I said that I would ring you up, and I have done, and it's me.
Well done.
Fox.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent.
So I just wanted to know how you find Twitch as a platform.
I find it a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it, and I find it a great way to express myself. But what I'm more concerned with is, are you going to stop drinking?
Eventually, I will. Ian, but it's going to take a lot of time.
Why? Why can't it start now? Why can't it start now? You can start it now.
I can't. I'm stressed out, mate. I'm really, really stressed out because my mum's in hospital. I'm worried about her.
You said she was all sorted.
Can I ask a question, Mike? Say you get a phone call from the hospital. Yeah. How are you going to get there tonight?
Well, I've been in the hospital tonight. I mean, I've been there for like 6 hours. I went to...
Say they call you back.
To the what, sorry?
Say they call you back in.
Right.
Mike, so you get a phone... Do you drive?
No, I don't drive.
Okay. No, right, you get a phone call. You're leathered, right, at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Hospital phones up, God forbid, and you've said that she's sorted, so God forbid, the hospital phones you at 2 o'clock in the morning, says, Mike, you've got to get here right now. We reckon she's got 30 minutes left.
It's the dehydration. So it's
Supposing there's complications. There's complications. Always happens in hospital. She's got an hour left. You need to get here. You're steaming drunk. How's that going to go?
Well, I would go. I would really, really go.
Will you hear the phone?
Yes.
Okay. Well, listen, if you're happy with your lifestyle, listen, I'm not judging. You asked me how I got sober.
I'm not happy with it, Ian. I'm not happy with it at all.
What I'm hearing is a lot of excuses.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of excuses.
I'm totally furious with myself at the moment because I'm drinking.
You don't need to be furious. You don't need to have that anger. You don't need to have that shame. You don't need to have that self-loathing that you feel.
I don't feel any self-loathing. What I feel is like I've let myself down, if anything.
Okay. All right. Well, I've told you how I stopped, and hopefully something's resonated with you. I wish you the best of luck.
And just one more thing. I told you I would do a radio jingle for you. Can I still do that?
Yeah, please do. That'd be nice. Lovely. Thank you very much indeed, Mike. I appreciate that. I wish you the best of luck. I keep banging on about the AA stuff, but that's how it worked for me. You know, it was NA. I'm throwing myself into AA at the moment, and I'm loving it. I've met some really nice people there.
There's obviously something in Mike that wants to stop, but he's not in the right place yet, is he?
Guys, you want to stop? There's a solution. Google AA, Google NA, meetings everywhere, numbers everywhere. Type it in your phone, it comes up. Lovely people.
And they don't stop for Christmas.
They don't stop for Christmas. Some of the meetings will be shut for Christmas, but I know quite a lot will be open on Christmas Day. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you'll be very, very welcome to. Let's go to Gatford. Good evening, Gatford.
Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Kath.
Hey.
Gatford, what have you got for us?
Your story about ripping your jeans reminded me of a story when I did something similar.
Yeah, go on.
On my first day in a new job, I was travelling by train to like a team away day.
Oh, God, that sounds awful!
I hate those.
Yep. And
did you have to build like something that you could drop an egg from 10 feet in and the egg wouldn't break?
Yeah, we used to have to do buckets and balls.
Oh,
but yeah, there was some sort of thing about we didn't catch each other falling, sort of thing. But there was that kind of like it tells about your colleagues.
I hate teams. I hate colleagues. I hate people beneath me. I hate management. I hate everybody to do with work, and I hate hanging out with them and spending time with them.
I've got a novel idea for productivity. Let's just work.
Let's just do our jobs. I don't want to spend a weekend in a castle learning about Daphne's inner chi.
And then someone will get together that shouldn't, and it'd be weird at work. Everyone.
I haven't been to an away day that's actually come up with an idea that we've implemented either.
No, of course not.
So, you know. Anyway, so on the train, saw a colleague, or new colleague, so decided to go and sit with her, brushed past what must have been like a nail or something, and the trousers ripped all the way down the buttocks. So I had to spend the whole day explaining to about a dozen or so colleagues, I didn't do this on purpose, I'm not really that weird, highly embarrassing. And I had to go home afterwards.
I was wearing pants. I was wearing male pants.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
Could have been commando. Could have been women's underwear. I get a kick out of wearing that sometimes. If I'm completely honest, could have been that. I was lucky. I was one of the lucky ones. Not everyone is so lucky. That's why this year, Gatford, I'm launching the Ian Lee Rip Trouser campaign for people that get caught out going commando or wearing women's pants. There's a lot of people out there, and we're gonna be passing around a bucket later on. Gatford, thank you very much indeed. As he goes, the switchboard becomes empty. 0344 499 1000. The late night alternatives, weeknights from 10 with Iain and Kath.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The wild man of late night radio, Ian Lee.
Differently interesting nocturnal emissions from a legend of late night radio, on air and off the leash.
The Late Night Alternative with Ian Lee
on Talk Radio.
So, 0344 499 1000. Last show before Christmas. You can find out with anything you want. You know the deal. Here New Year's Eve, 10 till 2, 4-hour show for those people who don't like New Year's Eve, including myself, Ian Lee, and you, Catherine Boyle.
Me.
So Fallon Sherrock. Do you know that name?
I know Fallon was in Dynasty. She was my favourite.
It's not her. Fallon Sherrock. I think I'm pronouncing her name right. She is the first woman to beat a man at the World Darts Championship.
Oh, I saw her, yeah.
Now, here's what I'm asking, right? Is that because men are significantly better than women at darts? Or is that because women have not been allowed to enter that competition before?
I think statistically probably more men play darts.
Yeah, probably.
So it's easier to, if you cast the net, you're not going to get that many women.
Probably. But if a woman was better than men, this is quite ham-fisted.
Do it anyway. And let's...
Maybe, if you know anything about darts and Fallon Sherrock, who by all accounts is quite a remarkable human being anyway in the rest of her life. I'm sure I read that her life has been complicated.
Oh really? I just saw the end of her match and the delight on her face was wonderful.
I think she's had a fair few things go wrong in her life.
Right.
I think would be fair to say. I'll have a little look in a minute. So if you know anything about darts and this person in particular, 0344 499 1000. So yeah, of course there'll be significantly more men playing darts than there are women.
Mm-hmm.
But if the woman was better than, say, the world's greatest darts player, the crafty Cockney, Eric Bristow himself, or John Lowe, she would rise to the top, wouldn't she? Unless there was some form of overt or covert prejudice against women.
I don't know. I mean, she's the 5th woman to ever take part in that particular competition that she's risen up in. She won a match. She's the first woman to win a match there, but she's the 5th woman to take part in it. A qualification pathway was created for women last year.
There we go.
So it ensured 2 places among the 96 strong field each year would go to female players.
Okay.
Which does suggest that some sort of door needed opening or widening.
Here we go. This is from the Telegraph. It was only last year that Dart Supremo Barry Hearn made the decision to allocate 2 of the 96 places to women. The sport had never definitively blocked females from competing. Qualification is open to players of both sex, but Hearn decided the time was right to give woman, it says here, a clear path to the top. So that is positive discrimination. Is that what we would call that, would we?
I guess.
He said it's not going to be easy. I can give you opportunity, but I can't give you ability. Full-time mother to her son Rory, who was watching at home with his grandmother. Sherrock's world was rocked 5 years ago by the news she developed serious kidney condition in the aftermath of giving birth. The side effects of the medication she was forced to take caused her face to swell, prompting horrific abuse from online trolls who cruelly labelled her moonface. No, but people online were mocking someone for the way they looked after they'd taken medication. I don't believe it.
Sports fans? No.
Even now, she has to ensure she is constantly drinking water. You're not allowed to drink booze on the darts anymore,
Not anymore, no.
Booze and fags. Used to love that. Used to love it. It was so smoky. Ali Pali was so smoky. But you could smell the booze through the TV. She has to ensure she is constantly drinking water during competition to flush her kidneys out. But there's no doubting who has had the last laugh as far as the trolls are concerned. Okay. Sherrock, the financial gain is likely to be hugely significant. Last year she received just £1,000 for going out in the quarterfinals of the BDO Women's World Championship. She is now guaranteed £15,000.
Beautiful.
Even if she loses against 11th seed Mensur Suljovic in the second round on Saturday. That's not bad, getting knocked out in the second round and getting 15 grand. So the implication there is that women aren't as good as men.
Well, she was better than that man.
No.
Oh, but generally.
But generally, or historically, women have not been... Is it because men can throw harder? It's a joke.
She won... She got through to that competition by winning the UK and Ireland women's qualifying event, so just women.
Okay, so... But then she got one of those 2 spaces that was allocated specifically for women. Is that fair? I don't know. I'm asking, is that fair? I always find... I struggle as a white, now bisexual man, but white privileged middle-aged guy, you know. Positive discrimination, I do find it hard to get my head around.
I would not like to think that I got my job on the grounds that I've got the quote-unquote right set of, I don't know, genitals. Because, you know...
Someone don't think about your genitals.
Please don't. Can you stop?
I've stopped.
Because the job we do is surely it's about brain-to-brain communication. It's about whether you can entertain an audience. It's about whether you know your stuff. All that.
But then you're a white heterosexual woman, so you're kind of second on the pecking order of privilege. Would that be fair? White men, then white women.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a big gap between white man and white woman.
There is.
I'm just taking more words out each time I say it to make it easier. So maybe positive discrimination makes more sense to a person of colour.
Do you know what? I don't know. I think there's a certain amount of when you first actively notice an imbalance, sometimes it's the equaling up of things begins to happen in what can appear a clumsy way. But it's got to start somewhere, hasn't it?
It's got to start somewhere.
And it's that whole thing of if you can't see it, you can't be it.
Darts is hard as well. Everyone thinks they can play darts, right? Everyone thinks they can play darts and play snooker until you have to get a double top.
We've got a good dartboard in the garage, and I can't count the number of times I've had to pull my darts out of, like, the eaves or out of, like, the paint cans.
I love a bit of darts, and when the boys have got a darts board, we need to put it up, actually, in the shed, in the garage. And you might get a 56. You might get a 72.
It's about controlling where you get it.
You might get a 72, and then you get to, right, okay, I've got 8, so I need to get double 4. I've got 4, so I need to get double 2. I got 2. Get double. It's the same with snooker, right? Everyone thinks they can play snooker because they can play. Everyone's okay at pool.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's okay at pool. Because pool is a smaller table, and you just got to whack it in.
Hit and hope, yeah.
You just got to whack it in. That's all it is, right? But snooker, the table is massive, and there's so much more room for the ball. You think you got it in a straight line, but it's so far away, it just goes off. So you could even miss the red ball. But then you get a red in, you go, brilliant, got red in. Oh man, got to get colour now. I've got to get colour in. How the hell? It's impossible.
Why aren't we on Talk Sport talking about skills like this?
We should be on Talk Sport. We should be on Talk Sport talking about this right now, guys.
It turns out some of these sports people are skilled.
03444991000. I got another review of Cats from the Times. If the music of Andrew, I'm obsessed with this film. I cannot wait to see it.
You'll be sorry.
If the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats has played a pivotal part in your personal evolution, or you've played those tracks from the Rum Tum Tugger.
Yeah.
What an unfortunate name for a song. To Skimbleshanks, the railway cat, incessantly on a loop for years on end, you'll probably enjoy this big-budget all-star adaptation. If you are, however, anyone else on planet Earth, boy, are you going to struggle.
What it's saying is, if you like Cats, you're going to like this movie of Cats. If you don't, you're not going to like this movie.
The pre-release noise has all been about the look. An early trailer made the singing and dancing human feline protagonists seem decidedly odd. The stars, Dench, Elba, Taylor Swift and James Corden had disappeared under conspicuously catty special effects. Their bodies were furry and curiously desexed, their tails phallic and strange. The film was a Freudian nightmare waiting to happen. The public cried out in protest, and Hooper duly jumped into action. His re-edited, retouched, and in some places reimagined film is now handsomely presented. It was only finished apparently on Monday.
I heard that.
The tails are still phallic, but the faces are cleaner and clearer, and the unsettling undercurrents are mostly dampened down, although you still have to cope with the sight of Elba without a packet. This is in the Times, guys. Swift with furry boobs.
Oh, gosh.
And I can work with that. And a host of star faces that occasionally drift ever so slightly away from their bodies. Yes! The film, alas, remains a nightmare. Although it is easy and lazy and perhaps inevitable since Trailergate to take pot shots at the garish visuals, the fundamental and insuperable problem with Cats lies elsewhere, mostly between T.S. Eliot and Lloyd Webber. The film dies almost instantly under the weight of its monolithic narrative structure. Like the musical, it allows 10 cats Mungo Jerry. Is that where Mungo Jerry gets his name from?
Yeah.
Mungo Jerry was the band.
Yes.
And then he became Mungo Jerry in the same way that Alice Cooper was the band. Then he became Alice Cooper. But so Mungo Jerry, well hang on, when was Cats done?
Well, it's from T.S. Eliot.
So when was it done? 1978?
They're poems by T.S. Eliot.
And Mungo Jerry is in there?
Yes. It's the name of a cat.
The Summertime Band. The Summertime Funshine Band. You know Mungo Jerry had bigger hits than in the summertime. Like bigger, in the summertime got to like number 4 or something, and they had like, I think 2 or 3 number 1s. Name one of the other hits. Can't do it.
No.
Can't do it. And yet they had bigger hits than in the summertime. It's a funny old world, isn't it?
It's very strange.
In the summertime when the women are hot.
What?
There is a line about the women being hot, isn't there?
No.
In the summertime when the weather is hot, you can
No, when the weather is fine.
You can do it. Right, let's get the lyrics.
You can reach right up and touch the sky.
Lyrics to In the Summertime.
When the women are hot.
You've got women on your mind.
You got women on your mind, but there's a lyric about...
you've got women on your mind.
I skip that bit. In the summertime when the weather is hot, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive. Don't do that.
Unless the drink is refreshing
Pepsi-Cola
water.
or a tab. Go out and see what you can find. If her daddy's rich, take her out. Oh, this is horrible.
I know,
If her daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If her daddy's poor, just do what you feel.
Yeah.
This is sleazy. Speed along the lane, do a turn or return the 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and really fine. We're not bad people. We're not dirty. We're not mean. We love everybody, but we do as we please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go swimming in the sea. We're always happy. Life's for living, yeah? That's our philosophy. When the winter's here, yeah, it's party time. Bring your bottle, wear your bright clothes. It'll soon be summertime. And we'll sing again. We'll go driving, or maybe we'll settle down. If she's rich, if she's nice, bring your friends and we'll all go into town.
Gosh.
What a horrible, horrible song.
Also, he doesn't understand how seasons work.
What a disgusting man. Ray Dorset, who is now Mungo Jerry, is. Anyway. Okay, right there. 20 minutes in, for instance, they're only on cat number 2. Jason Derulo's. Who's that?
He's a
Grace,
pop
Will
star.
And Grace? Okay.
Pop star.
Rum Tum Tugger.
Yeah.
His cat is spotted in appearance, possibly a Bengal crossed with an Egyptian Mao. And with an enormous matted ruff. His song is sub-children's TV standard, possibly the worst of the bunch. I cannot wait. And yet it is cruelly illustrative of everything that's flat and disengaging about the project. Lloyd Webber's tunes unfortunately don't help. This brand of synth-based jazz pop may have wowed them in the aisles in 1981, and indeed wowed them for 21 subsequent years, the fools. Okay, alright, Kevin Mayer. I'm getting a little bit too much Mayer and not enough Mayo. It doesn't mean anything, but what I'm saying is I'm getting a little bit too much of this guy. I feel a little bias here.
1939 those poems were published.
So you say. It is painfully outdated at a time when contemporary musicals span the soaring originality of La La Land. I hated that.
I didn't even bother with that.
It was so boring. So boring. Hudson, okay. The catty, okay, he doesn't like it.
But it sounds like he doesn't like cats. Like the musical.
I'm gonna go and see it. I cannot wait. 0344 499 1000. We got Will, we got Brian, we got Roger. It's been very male dominated. Let's get some ladies on the line. The Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 with Katherine and Iain on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Will. Oh, I've got to put a fader up. You take a week off and you don't know how to do it. Good evening, Will.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm all right, Will. What you got for us?
Just phoning up about the darts. I find it quite an interesting topic.
Yeah, go on.
Do you know that? I don't suppose you remember a table tennis player called Matthew Said?
No, of course I don't. Why would I?
He was he was quite a good player. I think he was like top 16 in the world, but he's a journalist now, and he wrote a book, I think called Bounce, The Myth of Talent. And the basic premise was that you have to do 10,000 hours practice to get to a very high level.
That's the tipping point. That's Malcolm Gladwell, isn't it?
Probably.
Malcolm Gladwell, the tipping
sure
point, who I interviewed for the One Show, and it was, one of the great intellects of our generation, and I had to ask him the most facile, dumb questions, and you could see him thinking, what am I doing here? It was so embarrassing. All right, yes, okay, 10,000 hours.
But it's also about quality of practice as well, because you and I could go and do 10,000 hours or something, and we wouldn't get to that same standard. And within darts, obviously, at the moment, I don't know, 90-95% of people that play it are male. They're more likely to play with probably a better standard of person, which is why they are dominating the sport. But darts is a sport that actually, I don't believe the body shape makes any difference to how well you do. So if you could get the same proportion of women playing it and having the same quality of practice, then theoretically, when you get down to the last 16, it should be 8 men and 8 women. But it's getting to that point. So I actually think that allowing 2 women to get to the last 96 is a good thing.
Will improve the skill. Are you suggesting that having 2 places specifically for women will improve the skills of those women that get those 2 places, and then the women that they play later on?
In the long term, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, long term, but realistically, in darts, are we ever going to get to a point where it's 50-50 and men and women playing it in pubs and in sports clubs? Probably not. I would expect it's. But by having those 2 women make it to the TV, and obviously that lady won, you would hope it would encourage other people to play. And if you even get more people playing, it should improve the standard.
So there might be, because you and I and Kath would have grown up watching the big old fellas, the Crafty Cockney, the John Lowe's, all of those.
Yeah.
The Chris Vindergoots, playing darts, and would have thought, okay, so that's a bloke's game. But if young girls see, Fallon Sherrock, playing darts, they might go, oh, that looks good, so I might have a go at that.
Yeah, you would hope, and even again, if they can get in and play with, I mean, like these women will play with the other 94 by playing better people. They'll only make themselves better as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a quick thing. It won't be in the next 2 years. It probably won't even be in the next 20 years, realistically.
No, because I think that there needs to be some sort of societal shift, because still, I mean, engagement in any sport with women is much lower, isn't it, than it is for men. Sort of out of hours sport where you've already been home and then you have to go out again, because I guess childcare is a thing.
Well, yeah, I would guess so. But as you say, it's a whole change in society. It just needs to be, I guess, more even in that side of things, and encouraging everyone to play sport as much as possible, really.
Yeah. For example, when I was growing up, the fact that my dad would go and watch a football match on a Saturday was a given. There was no excuses for it. It wasn't like he had to book it with my mum. It was like, that's what blokes do, and my mum would stay at home with the kids, and that was the end of it. And actually, I don't think that shifted an awful lot. For people who are married to football fans or sports fans, it's their passion. That's what they do, isn't it? And the woman is the one that stays home and minds the children.
I think football has become a bit more inclusive. I think it's.
I think it has, and I think that's partly down to things like the BBC and Sky giving women's football way more coverage. If the women's England team, and cricket actually, more recently, are playing a significant match, it gets mentioned in the sports bulletin. And it's not, but 10, 15 years ago, the ladies have done quite well. The England ladies football team scored, but now it's like a proper, and women's football, England today, it's a proper
and also
thing, as it should be.
I've noticed in my daughter, I've got 2 girls, I've noticed in my daughter's schools, it's less of that thing that we had when I was growing up, where during playtime, the boys would take over the playground and play football, and the girls would be gathered around the outside trying not to get hit with a ball. And now the girls play football as well, or basketball, or it's not just flipping netball and then hockey in one far corner of a massive pitch that's being used otherwise by the boys.
Also, hockey is far superior to any of
Hockey was
those
my
games.
favourite. I got so much.
It's at, man.
I got so much frustration and aggression out playing
Such
hockey.
a violent game.
Yes, it
I remember
is.
we all sneered when the boys had to play hockey at my school, and then after the first game, it was like, oh my god, this is awesome. It's like football, but with weapons.
Yes.
It's incredible.
I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I got hit, so...
That was my sport. I could never be bothered with flipping netball, the bit where you hold the ball and then you're not allowed to move anymore. Balls to that.
right.
Hockey was my sport. I loved it.
Well, thank you very much. You've given us something to think about. Let's go to Brian. Good evening, Brian. Oh.
Hello.
Hello, Brian.
Hi, I can hear you better now. I was sounding a bit like a Dalek before.
Okay, well, can you speak into, I don't know, can you speak into your phone? You sound like you're doing an apprentice job.
All right, is that better? I am speaking in my phone.
What is your phone made of? Plasticine?
Is your phone next to your ear, or is it?
Oh yeah, I've got my hand, yeah.
Got it in your hand. Okay, okay. I mean, it sounds
distant.
One day they're going to invent a phone that can make a phone call. That's what we're all holding out for, guys. So scientists, if you're listening, get to work on. Don't need any more apps, any more gadgets, facial recognition. Don't need any of that. Just make a decent phone. Oh, and another thing, right? When I make a phone call, can it be a phone call on the phone line, not on like the digital thing? Do you get that? So you make a phone call, and if you're vaguely connected to the 4G or the Wi-Fi, it will try and make a digital phone call, which is awful because it keeps dropping out. And then when I go, I tell you what, I'm going to turn the internet off. You turn the internet off and make a phone call, so it sounds like it's a phone, like a phone line. It works. Don't automatically go to the digital phone service.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do, because I've done it with you. I've phoned you up. So digitally it sounds very clear, but it just keeps dropping out. And so you turn off the internet and the Wi-Fi and all that, and then you make a phone call and it sounds... Excuse me, got a little windy there, I was so excited. It sounds... I did, gulps of air going down. Then it sounds like a phone call would have sounded in 1992.
Crikey.
Yeah, good. Good.
Anyway, Brian.
Hi, yeah, I was just been thinking about pool balls. How come some pool tables you've got orange and yellow balls, and on other pool tables you've got like spots and stripes with numbers on the balls?
Just for
what
fun.
the numbers represent.
Yeah. I know the answer.
Oh, great.
They're different games. They're just, they're
is one of them billiards?
No, they're not. No, it's billiards. Billiards is like on a snooker table with sort of 4 balls. No, they're different versions of pool. I think one's American and one is British, and they are slightly different. One you get assigned, the stripes or the checks or whatever it is, and the other one you sort of have to pop the numbers in the right order or something. I'm clutching at straws.
Are those balls bigger, the one with the numbers and stripes, or is it just optical illusion?
Optical illusion, mate.
All right, good.
Yep. Here's a tip for you guys. If you put a number on a ball, it makes it look bigger. Say no more. But I think they're different. I think they're different games, Brian.
Oh, right. It'd be good if somebody who knows a bit about pool would bring in and mention. I'll puzzle up by ears.
Just giving you the answer. I've just given you the answer, Brian, but thank you. If anyone else can just phone up and go, yes, Ian, you are correct.
Or we can Google it for you. Maybe.
That would be awesome. So I've decided, got my kids' Christmas presents. I've actually ordered too much. Because I had that thing where I wrapped up, because, I'm obviously not living with my kid's mum, and so I've got no idea what she'll get presents and their grandparents get presents, and I got my presents around the tree, and I thought, just a couple more each, and then I ordered a few more things, and I got a bit carried away, and I've got too much. Their birthdays are both in January, so I've taken a couple of bits and I've put them in the wardrobe for birthday presents.
Because actually, I think that you can have too many presents.
Can have too many presents.
And they end up forgetting about some.
So I've taken a couple away. So now I've got the perfect amount of presents, right?
Right.
And I'm very excited. I've got some great stuff for them. We're going to have they're coming to me on Boxing Day. We're going to have a great Boxing Day. I'm bringing back the tradition that my family used to have of the tree present, right? So you'd get all your Father Christmas presents in the morning, and their Father Christmas presents are going to be at their mum's house or wherever it is they're having Christmas. And the presents, these are from me.
Yeah.
So they're coming to me about 1 o'clock Boxing Day. So they're going to get the presents around the tree. And then what we would do is after tea, sort of like 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, about 6 o'clock in the evening on Christmas Day, we'd then be allowed to go and open the tree presents, and there'd be like 2 or 3 each, and they'd normally be something a bit pony, like, I don't know, like a little plastic telescope or...
A mouth organ.
Yeah, mouth organ shaped like a bit of watermelon was one of them.
Was it?
Yeah, I loved it.
I bet that got lost quite quickly.
No, it didn't. I kept that for years. Kept that for years. The watermelon, mouth organ. Loved that.
Those noisy presents in my house used to go missing. All the batteries fell out and couldn't go back in again.
But so I'm going to reintroduce the tree presents. I've got them 3 presents each on the tree. They're actually quite good. They've each got a book signed by Ninja. Yeah, that's right. One's got a card shuffler.
They're brilliant.
Yeah. One's got a case for their Switch. And what are the other? Oh, the Fortnite t-shirts. Take the L. But so I'm reintroducing that. But I've come up with, and I forgot about this. I thought about this a few weeks ago. Sure, I heard someone on a podcast say they'd done it, but I can't, maybe it was Tim Heidecker, but I can't think who. But I've come up with, Becky and Roger say they'll come to you in a second. I've got the best Christmas present, right? I don't have a middle name. Because my full name was Iain Lee Rugby, and then I got rid of the Rugby for showbiz, and because I didn't get on with my dad, and dropped that, and I couldn't think of another last name, so Iain Lee just seemed like the thing, so I changed it by deed poll. So I am officially Iain Lee, legally and everything. But I haven't got a middle name, and I've always, and every now and then I thought, I'd like a middle name, and the middle name that I've come up with in the past is Johnson. I like that. I think Johnson is a good middle name. Anyway, I've not done it officially. So my present to my boys is I'm going to let them, possibly each, choose a middle name for me.
Gosh.
Yeah.
These are the people that made up Mucky and Lucky.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I named 2 of my cats Mucky and Lucky. I'm gonna, the rule will be I can say no.
Right.
I can say no.
What are you hoping for? Something dignified or something daft?
I'm up with something daft. And then once they've chosen it, we go to the computer, we go to deed poll, and we change it legally.
What if they come up with something like, I don't know, Randolph or...
Randolph. That's a good name. That's a good name. Thing is, I mean, you don't have to update your driving
What
licence.
if they call you Adolf?
Well, then it'll be a great opportunity to talk about the atrocities of World War II.
Okay.
I mean, it's all a learning thing.
Yeah.
But I think that's great. I'm gonna let my boys, who will be 8 and 10 in January, I'm gonna let them choose my middle names.
I'm looking forward to having a chat with them on Monday.
My sister said, I'm going to teach him the C word. Reported her immediately.
My granddad had a very, considering his name was Bert Boyle, he had a very dignified middle name.
Yeah.
Vernon.
Jonathan Vernon Smith? Yeah? Your granddad was Jonathan Vernon Smith?
No,
I confused myself there.
No, my granddad's middle name was Vernon. And he did think for a while about double barrelling it, but there was no point really, because we were common as muck.
Yeah, exactly. Good evening, Becky!
Hi, good evening.
What can we do for you, Becky?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about Star Wars and cats.
Go on then.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he was more or less interested about seeing the Star Wars movie. He was like umming and ahhing about it, so, I've read reviews about it, it's going to be shit. And I said to him...
Alright, what's your language?
Sorry, apologise, yeah. He said it's going to be rubbish.
Yeah.
And it's like, mate, you can't go off reviews. You more or less got to go see it yourself, or, wait until it comes out.
What, the Star Wars film?
Yeah.
Has he seen all the others?
Yeah.
Well, then, why are you even bothering reading the reviews of the Star Wars film? If you've seen all the others, then just go and see it.
It'll be pretty much the same.
It'll be the same stuff, lightsabers, isn't it? Star Wars is lightsabers.
Exactly.
Klingons and stuff. Just go and see that.
Exactly. I went to see it with CJ at our local cinema. Yeah, it was a midnight viewing, and it was,
it was Star Wars.
I didn't think it was all that much.
It's Star Wars. I thought the last one was atrocious. The bit where Luke Skywalker flicks the dirt off his shirt. I thought it was awful. But I'll take, actually I'm not taking the boys, they're going with someone else. So actually I probably won't see it, I don't care.
Yeah. It's like, with cats though, my daughter's going to see it with her nana on tomorrow actually.
Gosh.
So another news for you. The maternal side of the family is now getting to see my daughter again.
Hey, there you go. That's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. They're going to torture her with cats, but...
Well, she wants to go and see it, so,
I just don't, I can't even begin to think what a kid is going to make of the insect. A kid might just go, yeah,
they're cats.
It's people's cats. You know, some of them have got boobs and none of them got butts, and yeah, it's fine. Yeah, okay, it's fine. It's nothing.
Well, I read to my daughter when she was a little bit younger. I've got the book of Cats by T.S. Eliot, so I did read her a few of the poems. She's never seen the musical before, though.
All I know is, oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
You do that at college?
No, I didn't do it at college.
I would have liked to seen you in that.
Oh, I'll do it for you now if you want.
Could be Rum Tum Tugger.
Well, I hope everyone enjoys it, Becky. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely Christmas. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's go to Roger. Good evening, Roger.
Good evening, Iain and Katherine.
And hello, Roger.
What you got?
Right.
What you got? What you got?
Start by saying, go and see Star Wars, Becky.
Oh.
It's great. I loved it.
Okay, well, hang on a second.
She's seen it. She said you want all that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and just listen, just because you liked it doesn't mean it's great. Doesn't mean it's great. I bet. Did you like the last one?
Yes, I did.
Well, then you haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Roger. You're an imbecile. The last one was Pony.
You were having that rant about telephones because, as I said, that's why I misunderstood Becky's call. I'd say for 80% of me waiting on hold, everybody sounded like Daleks. So.
Okay, well, then Pete should phone up and just listen to the show through the phones because he loves Doctor Who so much he's going to marry him.
But right, the reason why I phoned in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get to the meat and two veggies.
When you were talking about positive discrimination, because that's something that I wrestle with. Because as I've touched on in previous calls, and as you know, I struggle with finding a job.
Yeah.
And part of me thinks, I'd love positive discrimination. I'd love to get a job because I'm partially sighted and they feel sorry for me. But it's like, I want to get a job on my own merit.
Is it? Right, here's the thing. Do you think it's positive discrimination has to go along with because they feel sorry for me? Or because I think that people that advocate positive discrimination would say it's to rebalance the workforce so it's more representative of the rest of the world. And so actually it helps them out to have a broader base for their workforce.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but when it's a lot of places now do guaranteed. It's guaranteed interview. If you meet the minimum requirements for the job, you will get an interview.
It doesn't mean you'll get the job, though, does it?
Yeah, exactly. I know, but it makes me wonder if I'm there because I stood out with my application, or whether I'm there because they want to tick a box. The interview a disabled person.
Yeah.
But then everyone who's not a straight white,
pretty fly for a white guy.
Man is going to feel that way, aren't they?
I guess. I don't know. So I can only really go through my own experience. I'm not saying positive discrimination's a bad thing. There's certain sectors that do. It's like the amount of disabled people representation on, let's say, television. Like soaps and stuff like that. For years, you weren't getting the same amount of disabled people to what you would get.
Come on, Roger. You had Sandy on Crossroads. Wasn't that enough? Sandy. I don't know where I pulled that one from.
The one that, I can't remember the character's name, but there was a wheelchair user in the much derided Eldorado.
I was just thinking of her.
Wasn't it right in thinking,
she was also in The Office.
You know Robin's Nest, right? Remember Robin's Nest?
Yeah.
Hello? Am I the only person that's old here? No. Robin's Nest, right, starring Richard O'Sullivan, where he ran a restaurant, and there was a one-armed waiter. Right. I'm sure when I was a kid, we drove through London past Earl's Court and we saw the one-armed waiter, and my dad went, oh, it's the waiter from Robin's Nest. And I went, but he's got two arms.
No.
I'm sure the one-armed waiter, newsflash, guys.
So that was integral to the character rather than
that was
being
the joke.
actor.
That was the joke. I'm sure have I got this right? He was an Irish fella that had one arm, and he was a one-armed waiter, and that was the joke. So he'd be a bit rubbish at waiting. But I think I saw him walking down the street near Earl's Court in about 1979 with two arms. If anyone can back me up on that, guys, 03444991000. Did you see the Irish waiter walk down Earl's Court with two arms? That would be great to know. Roger, don't ever get a job because I need someone worse than me to play Call of Duty against.
Right, I just want to say, before I go, to Catherine, but especially to you, have a happy Christmas.
Oh, get lost.
Why especially to him?
Because it's Happy Christmas, not Merry Christmas. That guy's banned. The rest of the year.
Troll.
You seen the story about Orange?
No.
The company?
No.
Not the drink.
Or the
colour.
colour.
Or the fruit. Or the King?
Yeah, William of.
Or the Cure live video.
Oh.
Or the unrhymable word. We'll do it in a minute. We'll come back. We'll talk to Dave. Then we'll do this story about Orange because it's a depressing story, but I just saw it on the screens as we were sat in the office, and I've just read it, and it's insane. Actually, it's incredible. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Jacked up jive talk for janitors, jazz cats, and gin-soaked boys and girls.
Is that Commando?
If you're awake, you're welcome.
I've got 5 cactus needles stuck in my...
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
03444991000 is the telephone number. Free for most packages, cost you pennies at most, and Lady Alex will give you a call back. So this call's on us, guys. Our last show before Christmas. We're not here next week. Christmas starts at 1 a.m. for me. I've got the boys popping around tomorrow for the day, and then they're coming Sunday night, and then Monday, me and my boys, you and your girls, we're going off to see Joe Pasquale at Pantomime in Milton Keynes. It's Milton Keynes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Milton Keynes.
What is it, Jack and the Beanstalk or Cinderella? Something like that. Mother Goose. One of them. And here's the... He has got two arms. He has got two arms. Thank you, Greg. I mean, you sent a picture of David Kelly, the actor. He has got two arms. We're getting to... Joe has very kindly invited us backstage before the show to meet him, and as he says, I'm going to give your kids loads of sweets, shake them up, fizz them up, and then leave them with you.
They'll be buzzing, he said.
Beautiful. What a thrill. My kids, not aware of Joe Pasquale, but so they say they kind of have a scale of fame, and they say, how famous is he in the world? I said, in the world, probably a 3. He's a very British entertainer. How famous is he in Britain? I said, oh, he's a 9.
Yeah.
Very possibly a 10.
National treasure.
Very possibly a 10. A 10, really? I said, honestly, boys, if you showed him to almost anyone, they go, oh, it's Pasquale.
Yeah.
And also, everyone loves him. There's not anyone who goes, oh, it's a bloody Joe Pasquale. Oh, if you were told, right, you got Joe Pasquale on telly for the next 30 minutes, or you can go to bed early, you go, let's watch Pasquale for a bit. Let's have a bit of Pasquale. Yeah, everyone loves him.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for the boys to meet him.
Such
a nice man as well.
He's funny. He's good at what he does. He's very endearing.
Yeah. And I don't know him very well. I met him on Good Morning Britain, and I swapped numbers with him. So I don't know him very well. And I've called him a couple of times throughout the year, and he's such a nice guy as well. He's exactly as you'd imagine he would be. Just delightful.
Well, I've been doing some stealth training with my girls because they don't know that they're meeting him beforehand. So they watch this program called Dengineers. And one of the hosts of that particular program, where they do up kids' sheds basically and make them into sort of palaces, or if they're into Greek myths, they'll make them into a temple, or, whatever it might be. I think one kid had like a library and one kid had a cinema. And anyway, one of the hosts is Joe Pasquale's son, Joe Tracini. Oh. So I said, we were watching Dengineers the other day, I went, Joe Tracini's real name is Joe Pasquale. Oh, why is he not called that? Well, he's got a famous dad who's called Joe Pasquale. Let me show you some YouTube videos. No. They were laughing their heads off. Heads off.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, stealth training.
He's like, I remember, he's one of those comedians that you could put anywhere and people would laugh at him, whether you were like into, do you remember what they used to call it? Alternative comedy. God, that made up phrase. But whatever, you just put him on and you're just funny. What they call funny bones. Entertainer. Old school entertainer that for kind of a while went out of fashion a bit as people got a little bit snobby, but actually is just brilliant. Anyway, so that is Monday. That is Christmas kicking off in style with Pasquale. Let's go to our friend Dave. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Kath.
Hello, Dave.
Hello. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, none of my business. Ronnie Spector.
Oh, man. Well, me and Kath now own Treasure because I bought Phil Spector's Christmas gift to you on vinyl, signed by Spector, for 40 quid. I would have thought a new vinyl of that would have cost about that much anyway. And I bought Kath the Ronnie Spector Greatest Hits signed for 20 quid. Nothing.
Ronnie Spector.
Pennies with actual Treasure, Dave.
Yeah, I got, me and Dr. J with it, because he's in Dublin, and we both got a copy of it. I just said, where's the news cash point?
Yeah, it's just 40 quid for a new vinyl. That's, new vinyl's 25, 30 quid anyway. Signed by Ronnie Spector. Oh, please let me get one of those bad boys. Take that home with me. And what a show. I mean, a strange show, right? In as much as the first, I don't want to call it the first half, the first fifth, it's like 30 minutes long, and she's only on stage for about 25 minutes. And then it's the interval. I thought, oh, right, okay, we're getting a supper club show split over, an hour show split into 90 minutes. But then, but it was great. And the second half, I mean, that voice, man, that voice.
Yeah, I know. I got surprised. I was think I was going to be that emotional, but when she came on and started singing Frosty the Snowman, I just burst into tears.
Oh.
Absolutely went.
The thing that
I think it's because, wherever you come from, that album is sort of, and those songs are the ones that are really endured, even probably more than Slade or, anything else. Those songs were always played at school. You heard them at school during the, Christmas assemblies or whatever.
Yeah.
So you always heard that voice. So it was to hear that voice, and we were second row, we were right in the middle.
Well done.
And it was astonishing.
We were in row L, but when she sang Be My Baby, I grabbed Kath's hand and went, right, we're going up the front, and we were right at the front.
Were people dancing from the start at yours, Dave? Because
no,
they were very quiet.
We had an announcement beforehand that said, ladies and gentlemen, will you please remain seated during the queue?
Come on. She's one of the pioneers of rock and roll.
And do not leave your seats until the lights are up. And we went,
flipping it, man. I kept standing up trying to get a stand. And when she came out, I stood up and applauded. No one else stood up. I said, what this woman's been through, the fact that she's even walking on the stage, just give her a standing ovation.
But yeah, like you, when Be My Baby started, I wasn't going to sit down.
Can't.
No.
The line that got me, and I mean, she was reading the script off of an autocue, may God bless her, but the line that got me when she was talking about Amy Winehouse, and she said, thank you, Amy, for reminding me that what I did was important.
Yeah.
Boom, that was the line that, I started to well up a little bit there.
Well, that was before when she sang, How Do You Mend a Broken Heart to her sister. I was
that got me. That really did get me.
Yeah,
and also, I mean, she's 76. She's a sexy woman, and she was working it, man. Kept lifting up the sort of the underside of her shirt and doing that, jiggling her boobs about.
That little shimmy that she did and sort of pulling at her clothes was exactly what Amy Winehouse used to do, and I kind of realised watching her how much of that act had become kind of part of Amy's thing.
And how great was the footage that was being shown in the background?
Yeah, it was just fantastic to see some of that anyway. I forgot what show it was. It was like a Jack Parr show, or one of those sort of.
I've never seen any of that stuff, and the silent sort of Super 8 footage of them shimmying and the dresses riding up. The weird thing where the guy's eating the video of the guy eating the hot dog, and they all get baguettes that are bigger than his hot dog.
Yeah, that's when they were singing "Best Part of Breaking Up."
Oh man, it was just great, and she was clearly having the time of her life. And she touched me at the end. She touched my hand.
Yeah, we all reached it. She sort of walked along the front of the stage, and we all sort of reached out and stuff. Yeah. But also hearing her sing "War Is Over," I just
that was something else, wasn't it?
In Dublin, they had a big poster up. They had a big "War Is Over If You Want It, Love John and Yoko" poster up by one of the bridges this Christmas. So
one of the backing singers burst into tears during that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And weren't the backing singers brilliant? Doing the proper old school 60s girl group dancing with the hands and I couldn't stop watching them. I thought they were wonderful.
They were having a wonderful time, weren't they?
I loved it.
No, it was absolutely wonderful. And as you say, her voice was just in immaculate condition. And, all right, Phil didn't let her sing for so many years, but it's astounding how, much energy, still had and how that voice wasn't changed at all. And, it was, I'm really glad I went all the way there.
Absolutely. The audience we had was interesting. There was a lot of older people, obviously, the contemporaries of hers, but then there was some younger, there were a couple of women who had worn the Santa outfits.
Yep.
And as I say, Dr. J was there, who does the Nothing is Real podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And, he took his kids with him, so his kids were there. Right in the front, and they loved it. One of them asked to get a signed postcard. They were selling signed fan club postcards. Asked one of those, you could stick it on her wall and stuff.
Did you see that woman that came in with the massive beehive, big towering Ronette-style beehive, and Ian went, "Oh, isn't that amazing?" I went, "Yeah, I hope she's not sitting in front of me." It was huge.
That would be the
But Jay just said he wanted to let his kids one day stay that they saw Ronnie Spector.
Yeah. This is it, man. How old are his kids?
I guess.
You didn't ask, did you?
7.
Some friend this guy didn't ask.
No, 7 till about 12, 13.
Perfect. Take him to as many. He should take him to as many gigs as he can of his back, because that's what I'm doing. If I go to a show and it's not a school night, the boys come with me, and I'm taking them to see what we would call heritage acts. Because they'll be dead one day, and my boys can now say they've seen the Beach Boys, and they've seen Brian Wilson, and they've seen the Monkees. They love it. I love it.
Well, I'm thinking of phoning social services who's playing them King Crimson, which is,
Well, that's just ridiculous. That's. I mean, who needs 3 drummers? Dave, listen, thank you very much, mate. Have a lovely, lovely Christmas. I'm sure I'll speak to you before. Pablo, stay there, because I want to do this. This story from Orange is awful. Right? Did you not see it on the news out there?
No, I don't think I did.
Big trial in France, right? Listen to this. Pop-ups, go away, pop-ups. French telecom company Orange, or L'Orange, I guess you would call it. L'Orange.
Sorry?
L'Orange.
No, Orange.
L'Orange.
Orange.
L'Orange.
You say Orange?
And its former, anyways, this is awful, so I should stop saying L'Orange. And its former CEO was found guilty on Friday of institutional moral harassment that the court said contributed to a spate of suicides. A spate of suicides among employees. This is incredible when you get the numbers, right? In the landmark ruling, the Paris court sentenced the former CEO, Didier Lombard, to a year in prison with 8 months suspended and fined Orange. I mean, these numbers are tiny, and then you get to the numbers of suicides. With 8 months suspended and fined Orange €75,000. Lombard was also ordered to pay a €15,000 fine. He is appealing the judgment. 2 other former execs were found guilty of the same charge. They were handed the same jail terms and fines as Lombard. Another 4 were charged with complicity in psychological harassment and given 4 months suspended jail sentences with fines of €5,000. So this guy's got a year in prison, 8 months suspended, and the company's fined €75,000. He's got to pay €15,000, right? Now we get to the numbers of people that took their own lives. I'm laughing because it's completely out of phase. The company is the first of its size in France to be tried for psychological harassment, opening the door for future cases. The prosecutors opened an investigation into the suicides at Orange in 2009. The trial began in May 2019. The suicides coincided with a major restructuring of the company that followed a government bailout. Directed by Lombard, the overhaul aimed to reduce its workforce by 22,000 over 3 years. Prosecutors allege there was a corporate strategy to create an anxiety-inducing work environment that destabilized employees and undermined their dignity.
Oh my.
Imagine working somewhere that at points makes you want to kill yourself. Imagine. Orange said on Friday that an evaluation and compensation committee established in October had been tasked with finding, quotes, acceptable compensation solutions, end quotes, for affected individuals who came forward. Let's get to the numbers. The labour union that represents Orange workers said that 19 workers committed suicide between 2007 and 2010. Another 12 employees attempted suicide during that time.
19 in the space of 3 years.
And another 12 attempted. Let's just go back to the guy, the CEO, has been sentenced to a year with 8 months suspended. The company's fined €75,000 and Lombard's been fined 15,000, which they're appealing. 19 workers committed suicide between 2007 and 2010. Another 12 attempted suicide during that time. Oh my God.
And it was a strategy.
The union accused management of using particularly violent methods of institutionalized harassment to intimidate employees into leaving. Sylvie Topoloff, a lawyer who represented Orange employees, told CNN Business that her clients were very satisfied with the ruling. We feel that this judgment does justice to the victims and to the unions who initiated this harassment complaint.
Those poor people.
Just incredible. Saw this out of the corner of my eye when we were watching The Apprentice finale, if I'm completely honest. And I was trying to read the ticker tape that was going along, and I saw 19 suicides, Orange. I thought, well, oh, okay, let me have a look at that a little bit later on. Imagine a workplace where they've got to get rid of people, so they make it so unpleasant that people go, I don't want to work there anymore. But it was so unpleasant that 19 people took their own lives and 12 others tried to take their own lives. My God. And we talk about mental health. The reason I'm talking about that is because we talk about mental health on this show. I've been suicidal at points in my life, and I kind of 2007 and 2010. Actually, I suppose in terms of how we deal with mental health, that's quite some distance away. That is actually the 9 to 12 years. That's actually quite a long time in this whole thing. I would suspect, and I don't know if this is true, I would suspect that France is probably significantly behind the UK in dealing with mental health, would you think, or is that unfair?
No, I don't think that's true.
Go on.
Well, I used to live with a psychiatrist when I was...
Is it live news or pre-recorded?
When I lived in Paris, she was quite switched on. I mean, I think they were about the same.
Right. Okay. Incredible story. Switchboard is empty, dear listener. If you want to give us a call now is a great time. 0344, nearly gave my number then. 0344 499 1000, the late night alternative, weeknights from 10 on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Get an earful of unusual nocturnal emissions with radio's Lord of Misrule, Iain Lee. No relation, thank God.
Unfiltered Night Talk with the original king of unconventional conversation.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Lovely, refreshing. Let me listen to the lovely backing music while I drink some water. I'm so thirsty, and I'll tell you why. At the age of 46, I've rediscovered crisps. Because crisps are for kids and for lunch boxes, right? And I've now got kids, and when the kids come round, the one snack they eat, they love crisps.
You've got a crisp drawer.
Got a crisp drawer. They love prawny cocktails at the moment. So I always just have a load of crisps in, and they just go and help themselves to crisps. So I started eating some of the crisps. Oh, I love it. Prawn cocktail and cheese and onion. But then I've been eating knickknacks. Wheat crunchies. I got some wheat crunchies. Wheat crunchies and knickknacks are where it's at, baby. Forget your Pringles. Forget all of that. Knickknacks and wheat crunchies.
I still like a Space Raider. We've got Space Raiders at home at the moment.
I love it, man.
Cobb Bears.
So my body has just dried out. I've become like a husk. Inside it's like a salt cave. You can go and sit inside me and it will do your lungs and skin the world of good because I am made of salt. But I love it. It's crisps. But it just means I'm thirsty all the time. That's my dirty little secret is crisps. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is the late night alternative. It's our last show before Christmas. So if you want to give us a call, now is the time to do it. Good evening, Pablo.
Hip hip, how do?
What you got for us?
Well, just to start with, if you could be nice to me because it's my birthday.
What did you say? Be nice to you?
Well, you don't have to be.
Okay.
It's my birthday.
Who
so
cares?
If you feel inclined to... Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
No one cares about anyone else's birthday. No one cares.
That said... Happy birthday.
From her, not from me, and certainly not from the show in any official capacity.
What misery.
Thank you, Kath. That was my first happy birthday today.
What's it? Is it only just your birthday?
Yes,
like
it's
after
5
midnight?
minutes past. It's our case is phoning us up.
Oh.
No, I was joking, and it was yesterday.
Oh, I retract my birthday wishes. I was tricked.
Guy is I put his fader down because I don't even know if I want to speak to this birthday fraud. It's not even his birthday.
You're such a fool.
No one likes people who milk their birthdays the day after.
Unless they are under the age of 7.
No, this guy's a birthday fraud. Get to your point, scumbag. You're a birthday fraud.
When I was placed on hold, it was my birthday. When I'm speaking to you...
That's not my problem. Then you need Lady Alex to wish you a happy birthday. Nothing to do with me, buddy.
When you claimed it was your birthday to me,
liar.
It was not your birthday.
Liar.
Dare you.
Get to your point, caller.
Well, I mean, to get briefly serious, in regards to positive discrimination.
Yes.
I work with people with learning disabilities, and with without positive discrimination, a lot of people who wouldn't necessarily get past the CV stage get to meet and kind of accept and transcend boundaries and.
Until they get the jobs.
Well, not all the time, and to be honest, the main issue with people with learning disabilities within work is there's kind of like a government scheme where they get paid for travel, and that's pretty much it. They do however many hours they want to do, and etc. It's all kind of quoted, but ultimately, like the government are paying companies. A lot of them are kind of community projects, and all they can afford is their travel. They can't actually afford to pay them a fair wage. But there are like Weatherspoons, to be fair to them, they do employ quite a few people with learning disabilities.
But is that positive discrimination that they're employing those people?
Well, to a degree, they get to the point where it's an interview stage automatically, and it's people who are willing and able to do the job who are put in the position where they can do that.
But they're not giving people the job that can't do it.
No. I mean, it's up to the company at the end of the day. But it's, as I say, it's because essentially, if you've got a learning disability, whether it's profound or not, the idea of filling out an application form or having a CV up to date, and it's a lot of things that, fair enough, are kind of life skills, but ultimately are quite daunting to a lot of people to deal with. So if you can get to a point where you can basically say, here's somebody who's capable for the job, you can sit down with them and talk to them. If you want to hire them, that's up to you.
Okay. So what was the main point you called in for?
Well, it's my birthday. Be nice to me.
It's not your birthday.
Thanks very much for your call. Let's go to... I hate birthday frauds and chances. I hate them.
I feel so used.
I hate them. Good evening, Nigel.
Oh, hi, guys. All right.
Hi, Nigel.
Oh, I'm so fed up with the blooming weather.
Oh, I love it. It's grey and it's grey and it's wet and it's Britain and I genuinely, I'm not being flippant. I love, they can't hear you when I'm talking. I love this weather. It's drizzly. I had to go to the dump today because I didn't put the bins out for the bin men, or I did, but then my builder moved it. So I had to take the rubbish from my bin to the dump, and it was drizzly at the dump. Sorry, excuse me, the household waste and recycling centre. I love it. This weather's great, Nige.
Yeah, but where I live, my house got flooded out last time, and my mum lost all her stuff and lost some of my stuff, and it's very worrying. Hopefully it won't come indoors this time. The road is flooded, obviously, about the roads. And
our fingers are crossed, and to quote Funboy 3, our lips are sealed.
But it's bad all over the country, isn't it? I mean, look at the motorway.
No, it's not bad all over the country.
Oh, well, it was on the news, it was.
No, not all over the country. Some places it is, some places it isn't. Anyway, Nigel, what you got for us?
No, I just wanted to run up because I was up and wanted to talk to somebody. So I can't get very far on my bike because the roads are flooded. So
you know that you can, you know that, and I listen. I'm glad that you phone us, and I'll always like talking to you. But you know that there are other people that you could phone as well when we're not on the air.
Yeah, you weren't on us for a few days, were you? You had a few days off.
We were away for a few days. But you know, and I don't just mean on this radio station, there are people outside of this radio station that you could phone if you felt lonely, or if, for example, you found Christmas Day particularly difficult. Have you ever heard of the Samaritans?
Oh, of course, yeah, I've done that before. But, I mean, I've got my girlfriend, but I can get to her because the road is blocked, flooded at the moment.
Yeah, but you can phone... Have you ever phoned the Samaritans?
Oh, ages ago, yeah, but I don't feel I'm that bad.
You don't need to be... Here's the wonderful thing about them. You don't need to be suicidal. You don't need to want to die. You don't need to feel sad to phone the Samaritans. If you feel lonely...
I rang my brother's wife earlier. She had a long chat with me.
There you go.
I've got her to talk to.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, so that's all right. Are you doing Christmas songs yet or anything at the moment?
No.
Are you on Christmas Eve?
No, this is it. It's our last show before Christmas. We're not on until New Year's Eve now.
Oh, New Year's Eve. Blimey.
Yeah.
Well, wait, it is the last one tonight, then.
It's the last one, mate. It's in 49 minutes, my Christmas hollybob starts. It's Crimbus.
It's Christmas. What about, I'll do you a jazz song then.
I tell you what, you want to sing a Christmas song, Nigel? You want to do one for Crimbus? We'll take one for the team.
Oh, you want me to do a Christmas song?
I want you to do whatever ends this phone call.
I can do a jazz song if you want.
You do whatever you want to sing, my friend.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to mention was that on that Iain Lee fan page, I put some new drumming which is on YouTube.
I don't know what the Iain Lee fan page is.
Well, it's on Facebook, the one on Facebook, Iain Lee fan page.
There's absolutely nothing to do with me.
Oh, but they accepted my video. It's good of them.
Yep.
Because they don't always accept your videos. I've got a new drumming one on there.
I don't know about that. But that page isn't anything.
Which one would you like? Fly Me to the Moon or Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire?
I want to hear about your chestnuts, your hot chestnuts.
Yeah. Oh dear. Stop flirting with me.
2, 3, 4.
Okay, I'll do that then. I'll do chestnuts roasting on Open Fire. I've got to psych myself up.
Okay.
Here we go. You're not going to talk all the way through it.
We talked through the last one because we couldn't hear you, mate.
Yeah, is this much clearer now?
Yes, it is. So let's hear the song. Away we go.
I'll bash away then. Here we go. Chestnut roasting on an open fire, and Jack Frost nipping at your nose, and Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up as Eskimos.
Can't say Eskimos
Everybody knows some turkey and some mistletoe help to make the seasons bright, and tiny tots with her eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nigel. Have a lovely Christmas, mate.
Happy Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you so much. 116-123 is the Samaritans. If anyone needs to call them, you don't have to be suicidal. 116-123. I know not everyone likes Christmas. It dawned on me last year. I don't think I've ever really enjoyed Christmas. I thought I did. But actually, I find it really sad and maudlin and hard work and depressing and anxiety-inducing. And that all of my, in the past when I have thought I've enjoyed it, I've been pretending. I think I've been pretending, conning myself into a bit. I'm not saying I'm not gonna have fun. No, I'm gonna go on my sister's Christmas Day. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to the Christmas dinner, seeing her kids. Got my boys coming over Boxing Day for a few nights, and my sister's coming over for a couple of nights. It'll be fun. But I just find Christmas actually, I find it tricky to navigate, really.
Is it the enforced jollity or the...
I think it just reminds me of...
Sadness.
It just does, you know, I just don't really, enjoy it. And I get for a lot of people, it's lonely time, tough time, hard time. So anyway, we were saying it's Samaritans. You can phone the Samaritans. There'll be other people you could phone. I don't know who they would be, but phone me. Give us a call.
I had a bit of a moment today. I got a Christmas card through the door in obviously old people's writing.
Uh-oh.
And I assumed it was from the old gentleman across the road, Michael. Who's lived there since before we got there. He saw us move in as a newly married couple, and had babies and all these. We saw it when he had a wife. She died and she was ill for a long time, and so we've seen each other's lives kind of in parallel come and go. And the other day he was out. He's always out doing his garden. His garden is kind of his pride and joy. And I saw him leaning on his spade very heavily, and I walked past him at one point, and then I kind of doubled back and said, "Are you all right?" Then he went, "Yeah, I'm just a bit out." The thing is, he's so fit, you forget that he's in his 90s.
What?
Yeah.
You think he's fit?
But in terms of, physically able.
Thank you.
And because he was looking after his wife for all that time, you kind of assume that he was the one that was, physically able. Anyway, so I assumed it was from him, so I wrote him out a card. Thought, he always sends us a card. And I was about to put it through, and then I opened the card, and it wasn't from Michael. It was obviously something my dad had put through, and it's from my step-granddad, who's now on his own, who finds it very difficult to express emotion and stuff like that. He'd given us a whopping great cheque for Christmas, and this little card that sort of said, "I hope you have a very..." Oh, man. Oh. I thought he wasn't bothered about us.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So
that's hit you, isn't it?
Yeah, it really has. I mean, I haven't got any grandparents left. And since my grandma died, he started writing things like, what does he put? Something like, he calls himself, like, stand-in granddad. So he obviously still wants to be part of the family, and he's doing what he can to try and...
give him a call Christmas Day?
I'm going to give him a call tomorrow.
There you go.
I sent him a card. I always send him a box of biscuits. He doesn't want anything. Box of biscuits, which will probably last him all year.
Hey, you know these Christmas biscuits, right?
Yeah.
Why are there such big gaps between all the different biscuits? You don't get many... Those tins are big tins, right? Yeah. You can get a lot of biscuits in, but they have really big gaps between them.
I think it's to cater for the big-handed when they go in, so you can...
I would just settle with a bag of broken biscuits, because that's just crammed full of biscuit. I want it crammed full of biscuit.
I'll remember that for next year. Send him some broken biscuits. He's got a tin of biscuits, and he's got a calendar with the kids on it.
Yeah, the calendars with the kids are the best present, man. The best present.
Well, hopefully you like it.
Russ... Sloop, stay there. We will come to you next. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Russ!
Hello.
Hello, Russ.
How are you?
I'm alright. How are you? I don't care.
Oh, I thought you couldn't hear me for a minute.
I can't hear you very well, Russ. What, are you falling down a hole or something?
Kind of. Hang on a minute. I'll try and,
Right. He knew he had a way. He knew he had a way to make this phone call better quality in terms of the phone line, not necessarily the content. We'll discuss that in a moment. And he chose plan B instead of plan A. What a guy. Yes, Russ.
Hello, how are you?
We've done that bit, Russ. What can we do for you tonight?
Well, I was having a chat with my mate the other night, and he was trying to convince me that the Earth is flat, and I'm like,
well, your mate is a muppet, and I suggest you dump him immediately.
No, we've been friends since early age at school.
And was he always this dumb?
Well, he's a police officer, so
he's not. Yeah. He's not. I don't believe you. I do not believe you. No, are friends with a police officer who thinks the Earth is flat. I don't believe it.
Oh, no, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Okay, well, we'll indulge you in this fantasy for a little while.
Well, what happened was, he tried to convince me because he's seen this photograph in Chicago, and you got like the big lake in front of the city, and the skyscrapers that are next to each other in the distance.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to see them, but you can. And he says, if the Earth
you've convinced me. Okay, yeah.
Sounds legit.
Well,
sounds legit, Russ.
Well, no, see, here's my thing.
Oh, you've got an argument for the world being round, okay.
Science.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we see, we use light. If there was no light, we wouldn't see, would we? So we use light.
Or if there's no light, a torch.
Yeah, well,
That's light.
That's a form of light.
Okay, or a candle then.
That's light.
It's wax and fire. It's not light.
Well,
it's not
if
a bulb.
Not a light,
it's not a bulb
it's just a
or
candle.
it's not a bulb or a sun. So it's not technically light. The light is in the ceiling. The candle is on the bedside table. It's not a difficult concept, Russ.
It's not a light. Eh?
It's not a difficult concept, Russ. The light is in the ceiling. The candle is on the table.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so you use light to see. If you didn't have any light, you wouldn't be able to see.
What about eyes?
If you imagine, that's.
I use eyes to see. I don't use light to see. I use eyes to see.
Oh dear.
Bats use sound to see, don't they?
Bats do use sound to see.
Yeah.
And there's the bat boy, wasn't there? He learned how to do it. Get to the point, please, Russ.
Well, I would if you wouldn't keep saying stupid stuff like that.
This is the guy who phones up and thinks he knows a copper who thinks the earth is flat. Okay. Oh, it's me saying stupid stuff. Okay. Let's go to Sloop John B. Good evening, Sloop.
Is my mum playing tricks like Scarface and Bushwick? Ian Lee having nightmares of girls killing me. How are you both?
What you got for us?
Confused.
That was a Notorious B.I.G. line.
Okay. Okay. I'll check it out over Christmas. What have you got for? Why is everybody tonight, right? I feel like it's pulling teeth getting to the point of the calls.
It's like it's like as if someone's ringing the doorbell, you open the door and then they just look at you.
No, I can get to the point quick. I can
Go. So do it.
Go on. All right, Mr. Lee, I've got a recommendation for you. Okay. You were talking about Quadrophenia on Twitch yesterday. Do you remember?
It's an album that I've listened to many times and never dug. I've listened to a few times and never dug, and then I heard it for the first time yesterday. My oh my, it's incredible.
It touched a place, right?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, I've got a recommendation for an album for you, and I don't know if you've heard of it before.
I bet I've heard of it. I bet I own it, and I bet I don't like it.
It's called Sgt. Pepper.
Right. Oh no, that's a blinder, and it's their best one. But
no, it's not. It's not by a long shot. Sgt. Pepper's like 5th or 6th on the list of Beatles.
We can debate that another time, Mr. Lee, believe me. But anyway, this record, you mentioned the Fun Boy 3, right?
Yeah.
Earlier on. The second Specials album.
Oh no, thank you. No, thank you.
Wait.
No. There's no wait. You're not going to sell an album by a band whose genre I dislike. Whatever you say about it.
It's not ska. It's not ska. It's sort of bossa nova music.
Oh, it sounds awful.
It's fantastic.
Incorrect data.
Oh, I'm not going to convince you tonight. I can see what sort of mood you're in.
No, I'm in a mood that I don't like the I know I don't. Here's the thing. I know, and this may sound controversial, I know I don't like the Specials.
Well, you know, they say there's nothing more powerful than a made-up mind, so, you know, I'm going to respect that, brother.
Thank you very much indeed. There we go, you see. I like that. Let's go to Fake Sheila. Good evening, Fake Sheila.
I've never heard anyone say there's nothing more powerful than a made-up mind.
I've never heard it either. Good evening, Sheila. What can we do for you?
Yeah. So, a few things that have popped up tonight that I thought I wanted to talk about, but there's, like, so many. But I'll just
pick one and start.
Okay, well, I'll start with this Robin's Nest. Robin's Nest?
Continue.
Okay, so it's sort of before my time, but my brother's like 15 years older than me, and he loves these kind of 70s sitcoms, like adores them, and I've always liked Robin's Nest. So when he talked about the one-handed waiter, I knew exactly who he was, because I think some people don't know.
Yeah.
So I've always liked it. I've always liked the programme.
Right.
Did you know he was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as the granddad? That film?
As which granddad?
Well, Charlie's granddad.
Well, Charlie has two granddads in that film.
Well, the one that can get out of bed or does get out of bed.
He's not Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe. That's him. I'm pretty sure it's him.
He is not Grandpa Joe. If he's Grandpa Joe, I'm giving you a
he is, mate. I'm telling you.
David Kelly.
It's not the same actor.
I couldn't believe he was still alive when I watched that film.
Is it the same actor? Hang on a minute. I'm not talking to you, Fake Sheila. I'm talking to Catherine who's got Google. Is it?
Yeah.
That's the Irish. Sheila, please. I'm talking to Catherine who's got Google open.
But.
Hang on. So you're telling me that Grandpa Joe, the one that goes into the death factory, that should be shut down for health and safety reasons.
But. The Johnny Depp one.
Oh, so not in the original?
Not up and about.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count, Sheila.
Yes, I mean...
Doesn't count. Who's watched the Who's watched the Johnny Depp one? No
Me.
one. No one of great taste.
I thought it was really... I liked it.
That is not... Jesus. That is not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as far as I'm concerned. That is not canon. That doesn't exist.
It's good. It's a good
It is actually Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The other one's called Willy Wonka.
Yeah, no, I'm never going to watch it. When someone phones up and says he's Grandpa Joe in Charlie, everyone thinks of the first
Golden
one. So that
Ticket.
doesn't. Yeah. I can believe that he is Grandpa Joe in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Johnny Depp film that no one's ever watched.
To me, he redeemed himself to me because
he redeemed
all
himself?
these sort of 70s kind of programs they weren't very politically correct, and I used to like. Hello.
Yeah, what we're doing is when you're talking, we are listening. That's how conversations work.
I'm not used to that. Okay. I remember watching one episode and that he said something so terribly racist. I thought, I don't like him anymore, and I never watched it again. Okay. He used terrible words, and I thought, oh gosh. So when I saw him in this in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I was quite surprised at that. But I suppose that was the 70s or 80s or whenever it was.
70s, although it doesn't excuse it. We watched a little bit of...
I was a bit surprised at that, but I guess, is that how things work?
I showed Catherine a little bit of Jim Davison doing his Chalky character, because you'd never seen it, had you?
No.
It's pretty... And here's the thing, we used to do Chalky in the playground.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to do Chalky, I'm talking when I was about 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
So about 79, 80, we'd do Chalky, we'd do the voice, we'd do everything, yeah.
He was as famous and popular and considered as family entertainment as, I don't know, someone like Peter Kay, wasn't he, back in the day?
Yeah, and a horribly obnoxious...
You look at it now and it's really spiteful.
Oh, it's awful. I mean, he blocked me on Twitter, Jim Davison, because I called him out. I called him out for being a muppet.
Good. Well done.
There we go. Yes?
The thing is, these people, it was funny at the time, but it would have been so very hurtful to people.
Yeah, it was horrible. It wasn't even a very good, I think it's like Jamaican he's trying to do. It's not even a very good accent. No, not joking. What we used to call West Indian. It's just awful. It's awful. Anyway, Sheila, anything else?
Oh yeah, there were some other things, so that was the serious point. So, also, you were talking about your middle name.
Yeah.
So, my dad's really ill, and he was always obsessed with family trees. He's involved in some online family tree thing, and because I don't think he's going to be coming back home again, and maybe for Christmas Day as the last time. But I thought, oh, do you know what? He's always trying to get us to look at this family tree. I'll go and look at this family tree, and I found some funny names that are on there. So I thought, for your middle name.
Well, hang on a minute. This competition is closed.
I know.
There are only two entrants in this competition.
Positive discrimination, isn't it? Nepotism.
Yes, nepotism. Two white, middle-class men. Okay, go on.
Well, what's interesting is my sort of surname is very Hispanic, so all my family, it's Hispanic surnames, but they have very bizarre, it can be very Hispanic first names or very bizarrely old-fashioned English surnames where they think they probably thought they were still relevant.
Yes.
So I just run through a few, and if you like them, maybe you could have one.
Well, I will not. I guarantee I will not take any of these names, but I'm happy to listen to them.
Okay, Galbert.
What?
Galbert. Galbert, yes.
Okay.
Edwin
Lancelot.
Star.
Lancelot, yeah.
Raphael.
Turtle.
Rudolphus.
Reindeerish.
Piers
Morgan.
Lazarus.
Well, that's biblical.
Yeah, there are lots of them biblical as well, actually.
I get Bible. I get Bible and read it. Go for the names.
Okay, the one that made me think I must call you is Adolf. I found an Adolf.
Flipping heck.
Who called? And it was after, obviously, the Adolf. Who calls their child Adolf?
I'm not allowed to say.
His name to John. He's a friend of my mother's, and he's changed his name to John. But he's Adolf.
Gosh.
His first name's Adolf.
Yes.
I mean, it's a valid name, but some names are so weighted with historical impact.
Well, I told you, I was in the playground the other day and I heard a kid being called from across the playground Myra.
Oh, God, that's
it's still too soon for that, isn't it?
That's coming back. Is it Myra?
No, I've never heard it ever. And I was saying to my dad, flipping out, fancy calling a child Myra. He said, well, this generation won't know. I said, yes, they will. It's like, it's up there with adult.
Well, hang on. Would like a mum, 30-year-old parents and below, I don't think Myra Hindley...
Yeah, but they've got relations who are older, surely.
Maybe their parents died in an aeroplane crash.
Someone will say. Surely.
But if you go, this is our baby. Oh, lovely. What's her name? Myra. You can't then go, a pox on your house. You can't. You will go.
Oh, she was a lovely little blonde dot.
I mean, Myra is a great name, but for us, it is weighted in Hindley.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the cut-off point for that is. I mean, there's no reason a 30-year-old couple would necessarily be aware. You can't know all of the famous murderers.
I think she's up there. They've been talking about her for years.
Yeah, I suppose so. Anything else, Sheila? Okay, thank you very much indeed. I'm going to take that hesitation as a no. Take that as a hesitation as a no. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's get, there's a story in The Sun today. I don't know if you've heard of that newspaper.
I'm aware of its work, yes.
A horny couple.
Here we go. It's after midnight, everyone.
A horny couple. Giselle says she doesn't know the reference. I don't believe you, Giselle. I do not believe you. I do not believe you. You do not.
I think you probably know someone who can fill you in on that.
You do not know Myra Hindley. You really? I mean, if you don't, you don't. If you don't, you don't. A horny couple was seen having the ride of their lives while romping on a bus in broad daylight.
Gosh.
They were spotted having a, quote, vigorous, close quotes, sex session.
A session. Oh, gosh.
How long does it have to be? Yeah.
I reckon 40 minutes upwards.
At the back of the double-decker. That was the bus.
At the back.
Gas engineer John Dolan was sitting in his van.
Let me guess, he was so horrified he filmed it.
When he saw them getting steamy on the top deck, he filmed the romp and sent the clip to his wife before posting it online in a bid to shame them. The video of Tuesday afternoon's session...
Can I borrow your juice, please?
Yeah, sure, there you go. The video of Tuesday's afternoon session on the number 135 in Prestwich, Greater Manchester, it's your people, has had more than 460,000 views.
Horrified people.
John said, Manchester, it looked quite vigorous. They slowed down a bit when the bus stopped.
The what?
The bus stopped.
The bush?
The bus stopped. But was still at it. And carried on again as it pulled off.
Can I ask you something serious? Can I ask you something quite serious?
Yeah.
Do we sound the same as Scousers to you?
I don't know what you mean.
Okay, carry on.
From Manchester. I can't imagine if an old lady got on the bus and saw them. She'd probably have a heart attack.
Well, she can check out the video beforehand now.
Bus firm Go Northwest.
They did. Sorry, go on, I'm not taking this seriously.
Contacted for comment.
Blimey.
Who is this? So there's a picture of the sultry star of Jumanji, The Next Level, which I saw at the weekend. It's great. Oh, I want to watch the two Jumanji movies.
The new ones, though.
Yeah, I don't want to watch the old one because I watched 20 minutes of that and it was rubbish.
It's quite slow.
I want to watch the two Jumanji movies back to back. The Rock does the best impression of Danny DeVito. But I'm trying to think of this one. Star of Jumanji, Next Level, Danaya Ramirez takes it to another level in a bikini. The actress 40, right, with co-star Dwayne Johnson, 47, dazzled in the yellow number. As the film went to number 1, she posted on Instagram, honoured so many laughs. But I don't know who she is in the film.
She's the sultry star. Surely it's obvious.
Well, let me go on IMDb. Because I saw the film. Right, IMDb is where we're going to go to. 0344 499 1000, by the way, because switchboard is empty. Jumanji, next level. Right, so let's find this. Because I would... Who is she? I would recognise her. Now, there is... Because she's a very beautiful woman. Now, okay, full cast and crew. So Karen Gillan is in it.
Of course.
Who's she? What's she been in?
Doctor Who.
Oh! As who?
As one of the...
assistants?
Assistants, yeah.
Oh, good for her making movies. I like it when British actors and actresses make movies. She's like one of the main ones.
Yeah.
She's brilliant in it, actually. Oh, good for her. I didn't realise. Okay, Dwayne Johnson.
Out of the wrestling, yeah.
Yeah, out of the wrestling, The Rock. We're looking for Dania Ramirez. It says here, sultry star of Jumanji, next level, Dania Ramirez. So we got Jack Black, Ashley Scott, Aquafina. That's a great name. Kevin Hart, Danny DeVito, Dania Ramirez. Ah. She's the only one who doesn't have the character name next to it.
Oh.
The only one.
Does it just say sultry star?
No, it doesn't have anything next to it. What? Dania Ramirez is a Latin American actress born in the Dominican Republic. Her first job was JC's girlfriend in this music video, The Streets is Watching. Went into appear in The Sopranos, Entourage. She's also appeared in films in
She plays an avatar.
Well, they're all avatars in it.
So she's in
Oh! No, is she the woman that seduces... Oh, I know exactly who she is. Is she the woman that seduces, The Rock when he's playing... Oh, it's so confusing. I don't know. Let's take... Oh, my brain is exploding. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Unfiltered Night Talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
What on earth? This is why I've not worked with this guy for 12 years.
I think they're trails people that must have gone off on holiday.
I think, no, but that's an ad break.
Yeah.
Alex, what happened?
Would you like an ad break?
Do you have one up your sleeve?
Yeah.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
Should we do it? I mean, how do we do it without the listeners noticing that we've cocked up?
I think like this. Ads.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Kick off your slippers. Don't go to bed. The party's just starting.
You can sleep when you're dead. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Christmas starts in 19 minutes. Not had a mince pie yet, although in Costa today I did have a pigs in blanket panini. Traditional festive fare. Switchboard's empty, so if you want to give us a call, last chance to give us a call before New Year's Eve, when we'll be in at 10 till 2 at night, obviously, doing the New Year's Eve show for people that don't like New Year's Eve. We won't even really mention it. We'll just play some silly games, talk a load of nonsense, and get drunk. We won't get drunk. I won't get drunk. If you want to give us a call, 0344 499 1000. Boydie, what you got?
Oh, well, I mean, how... Now, all right, let's do this one. You know, we get these stories every now and again about kid getting sent home because their haircut is deemed inappropriate or their hairdo is deemed inappropriate. And it's often young lads doing their hair like footballers. Well, there's a little girl in this one.
Oh.
Teachers have been accused of being all bar humbug after a girl was threatened with being sent home over her hairdo. Poppy Lee, spelt differently from yours, 13.
Oh, don't spell my name, Poppy.
Wanted to be festive in her last week of school before Christmas, so fashioned a Christmas tree out of her hair. Let me just show you a little picture.
Oh.
You know, like the haircuts, the hairdos in The Grinch?
Yeah, no, because I've not seen it. Oh, it looks awful. It's like a beehive with, she's put lights on it.
Lights
That's
around
dangerous.
It's really high. It's about, half a metre?
I don't know. I don't do metre. I can't do metric. I don't know. I would say it's about 18 inches.
Okay, I don't do inches. When she turned up at Manchester Health Academy, she was told you'd either have to take the lights out or go home.
You've got lights out. It's dangerous.
The 8-year-old pupil created the do by wrapping her hair around an empty water bottle. And I know how this is done because I dressed my youngest up as Cindy Lou Who from The Grinch a couple of years ago.
Okay, no, I don't know what The Grinch is really.
Well,
I know what it is.
They have hairdos like that, and I put a bottle underneath her hair, and I did her hair over the top, and then sort of plaits out the side. It looked amazing, but she wasn't expecting to do schoolwork in it.
No.
The year 8 pupil created the do by wrapping her hair around this empty water bottle. Her mum, Christy, said, "I'm quite upset, really. It's just bar humbug. It's just a bit of fun and Christmas cheer before she breaks up tomorrow."
She's broken the school rules and it's health and safety. I'm on the school side, totally.
She just wanted to make things a bit more exciting. Poppy's always messing around with her hair. She walked in this morning and said, "Mum, can I do my hair like this for school? It looks like a Christmas tree." She wrapped her hair around an empty bottle of Volvic water. Oh, she's after a sponsorship deal. And she asked me to put the lights in for her.
Put the lights... Oh, this is ridiculous.
Her hair is usually down to her bottom. She refuses to let me cut it. She doesn't care what people think.
Not Rumpelstiltskin.
Rapunzel. She doesn't care what people think. She's gone to get on the tram from Bench Hill like she does every morning. One of the teachers said her hair looked like fantastic, but then she was told to take it out or go home. Poppy wouldn't come home because she loves school and is one of the top students, so she had to take it out. Principal Kevin Green said, "The Academy has the highest expectations around uniform and teaching and learning, and all through this week staff and students have remained focused on learning. Friday's a day when there'll be a series of Christmas assemblies and a time for students to reflect with friends and staff about the Christmas period. At no point did the Academy send a student home. The child concerned is a wonderful student, and whilst it was a remarkably creative hairstyle, it was, unfortunately, inappropriate for school."
Exactly, follow the rules. Very something. No sympathy for parents that encourage their kids to disobey rules like that. Like that. Sometimes I encourage my children to disobey like small rules.
Yeah.
But not that. Hey, by the way, there's a fascinating conversation taking place on Twitter.
You're joking.
So they're talking about murderers now. Roger, who called in earlier.
Yeah.
"I had an online friend who murdered someone.
Gosh.
That was weird. Was even interviewed by the police about her. Was asked what I knew about her, what she was like, what we used to chat about. Came close to meeting her. Turns out I had a lucky escape."
What, she was...
Holy shamoly.
What, she was meeting people online and doing a minute?
I don't know. So it's all we've got on that story. I don't think I know... Do I know anybody that's murdered anybody? I know a couple of people that have killed people in unfortunate accidents.
There was a murder at my school just after I left. My friend knows them.
Oh, one of my school bullies who used to bully me murdered someone. Yeah, used to bully me, used to threaten to kill me. And then killed someone. Holy shamoly. Yeah, that happened. Isn't it? Isn't it though?
Yeah, it is.
I've often thought one of the many reasons I could never do a murder is the guilt. Is that your stomach?
Yeah.
Is the guilt. I couldn't carry the guilt around. And then I keep referencing this, and I can't remember what the film was. There's a Woody Allen film, and it's Martin Landau, and he kills somebody. Don't know if it's planned or not. I think he murders somebody. Murders like a woman he's been having an affair with.
Right.
And then it cuts, and he's racked with guilt. He's like, oh my God, and he has to go home to his wife, and she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, he's just so anxious, and you think, my God, he's going to explode. And then it cuts to like 18 months later, and he sits there very calmly, talks to the camera, and says, well, I don't really think about it now, and over time, the first few months were awful, and I was convinced I was going to tell my wife and turn myself in. The shame and the guilt were incredible, but after 4, 5, 6 months, it kind of faded away, and now I barely even think of her. And I think, wow, and it was done so. If anyone knows the film, I want to. It's not Manhattan Murder Mystery. I think it might be Crimes and Misdemeanors. I think. And I know that, you know, the Woody Allen is frowned upon these days, but it's such a good film. And it was a brilliant performance by Landau, just the calm I don't even think about her anymore. Whoa! And I wonder if that's what it would be like. I think it would be. The human brain has to, unless you're, it was Crimes and Misdemeanors. Thank you, Andrew. Unless you're like a serial killer whose brain is wired completely differently to everyone else's, so you kind of a one-off murder. I think your mind would be able to suppress the guilt.
Here's the other thing about human beings.
I'm going to watch that on Sunday. Thank you, Andrew.
We are all the protagonists in our own movie, aren't we? We're all the heroes of our own story.
There we go.
And I'm sure it is in part of the human condition to justify why you did something.
Yeah.
And I bet if you got to the point where you murdered somebody, it wouldn't be that much of a stretch to be able to justify it to yourself.
What are you saying?
Watch your back.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
But it's part of survival mechanism, isn't it? It's what keeps people going. Is that sort of memories fade, and I don't know. I hope I never find out.
I hope I never find out. Got some bad news, guys. They've lost the Epstein suicide video. It's gone missing. Jail surveillance footage recorded when paedophile Jeffrey Epstein apparently tried to kill himself has gone missing. This is the first attempt.
Oh, I see.
I think its disappearance will...
Wasn't that the basis of the case against the prison officers who got taken to court recently, was that they lost stuff?
I don't know. Its disappearance will fuel conspiracy theories that the tycoon pal of Prince Andrew was killed. Maybe it wasn't. The CCTV film was supposed to have been preserved at the request of lawyers for Epstein's cellmate, Nick Tartaglione, a former cop accused of killing 4 people in a botched drug deal. Lawyer Bruce Barkett said, I don't know the details of how it was lost or destroyed or why it wasn't retained when it should have been. The footage was taken outside Epstein's New York prison cell where he supposedly tried to hang himself in July. It was reputed to show that Tartaglione helped to save him, demonstrating his good character. I see. Prosecutors admitted it was lost during a court hearing on Wednesday. Oh, guys! Come on! Epstein, whose links to Andrew have forced the Duke out of public life, hanged himself in his cell in August. No, he didn't! He didn't kill himself before he could be tried for child sex trafficking, child rape. His relatives refused to accept it was suicide. Their medical expert, Dr. Michael Barden, said the 66-year-old's injuries were consistent with being strangled. We're never going to know.
That case I was referring to, 2 federal corrections officers were indicted about a month ago for allegedly trying to hide their failure to check on inmates on the night the convicted sex offender and accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in his Manhattan cell, a mere 15 feet from the jail's common area. Officers Tova Noel and Michael Thomas repeatedly failed to complete mandated counts of prisoners under their watch in the special housing unit of the Manhattan Correctional Centre. Even though Epstein, actually, isn't it? It's Epstein had apparently tried to kill himself a few weeks earlier, prosecutors said. Both pleaded not guilty.
Well, there's the thing, we'll never know. Because Big Pharma doesn't want us to know. The Big Pharma. Yes, Andrew?
Yes, Ian and Kath.
Hey.
Good to have you back.
Thank you. What you got for us?
You're talking about like killers and murderers and a little bit earlier on. About 100 yards from where I live, there was a cannibal.
Sorry?
Yeah. He killed somebody and he ate part of them. And the police caught him, and when they went in, he was boiling. He had parts of the body, so there you go.
Gosh.
Flipping heck, man. That's how, so what, on your street?
Yeah, it was literally about 100 yards from where I live, on the street, on the road. It was a few years ago now, but, the police went in, found him, cooking parts of the body in a pot.
I'm glad you're bringing you much, joviality. Is that a word? Joviality, is that a word?
Yeah, but
you're enjoying it.
No, but it brought it to my mind, because you was talking about it, but I was watching a thing on Netflix.
Yeah.
Called Don't F with cat.
This is the thing of them. Have they just dropped this on Netflix? Because we had a call about this earlier on.
Yeah.
It seems to be the thing of the moment. Don't F with cats.
Yeah. I watched the first 2 episodes and I'm like, oh my God.
I don't know if I need to see any more Netflix murder documentaries. I kind of feel I've seen all the Netflix murder documentaries that I want. I wouldn't mind watching a documentary about kids painting windmills or something. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind watching.
Yeah, I'm done with crime.
I wouldn't mind watching a documentary about a woman learning to ride a horse. You know, a documentary about some deaf people putting on a musical. I wouldn't mind watching a documentary about something artistic coming. You know, about beauty. I don't know if I need to see any more murderers, Andrew.
I understand where you're coming from, but you know why you won't see those documentaries that you want to watch?
Yeah.
It don't sell.
Incorrect data. Incorrect data. One of the best documentaries I've ever seen, and I'm going to be watching it over Christmas because I'm going to be in floods of tears, is the Mr. Rogers documentary. It's stunning.
Oh,
it's stunning.
Yeah.
It's stunning. And it's beautiful. And you watch it and you're waiting for the catch. You're waiting for the bit they go, and he was a paedophile. There is no catch. All it is a beautiful man that believed children deserved intelligent, thoughtful entertainment. That's it.
Let me add to that, the Dr. Ruth Westheimer one.
Oh, I've got to
Ask
watch that.
Dr. Ruth.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Andrew, the beauty is out there if you look for it.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Thank you very much indeed. I don't like
true crime. I'm over.
I don't like cannibalism. Leaves a terrible taste in my mouth.
Okay,
no, really. I mean, come on. CJ.
Hi, short one. I just wanted to wish you both a very Merry Christmas.
Hey, her name's Katherine.
Don't
phone up to say, oi, short one. Her name is Katherine.
My ears pricked up.
She stands at 5'2" tall in heels. Yes, CJ.
Yeah, I just wanted to wish you both a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and well done for getting it right.
And all that. Well, you have to. You know, if anyone says
scumbags that say Happy Christmas, I hope their Christmas tree falls on their head.
I haven't got one this year.
You haven't got a head? What?
No, I've definitely got a head.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say it's working okay at the moment, which is wonderful.
Perfect. Well, just get through Christmas. I would, if I didn't have the kids coming round, I wouldn't have had a Christmas tree because they're a faff.
Yeah, it's pointless, isn't it? Except for the pine ones.
They're a real faff, and it's just already. I'm dreading. I forgot to water it, and it's wilting, and I'm dreading having to put it out for my stroppy bin men. And
you're supposed to water them.
Yes, you're supposed to water them. It's a plant.
But really, it's only dead tree. So
no, we keep it moist.
Keep it moist, and it will last a bit longer. Do you tip your postman or postwoman?
If I see them, I'm nice to them.
Well, that's not being nice, isn't a tip.
They want money.
That's manners.
That's all we're getting.
Okay, all right, CJ. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much indeed. We got. Here comes Martin Kellner. Hello, Martin. Do you give your postman or postwoman a little Christmas box?
If I see him, I would.
There we go.
I'm not, if I'm not there.
How much would you give?
£5 maybe a tenner, but no more than that.
20 quid to mine.
20 quid to yours.
I gave 20 quid to mine because she's excellent.
Yeah.
She is excellent.
She's delivering the post round London. Ours is only delivering the post around Wakefield, which is much easier.
Well, no, I'm in Aylesbury, so I'm out and about.
But you have a special relationship with that particular post person.
I did when she gave me something to sign. I said sign for it, and as I shut the door, I went, "Thanks, I love you." And I have no idea why I said it. No idea why I said it.
There's a lot of trouble like that.
Yeah.
What was the Woody Allen film you were talking about? Because I could only just...
Crimes and Misdemeanors.
Oh, that's
I've not seen it for years. But Martin Landau murders someone, doesn't he? And
yes, he murders the woman he was having an affair with.
It is. And then it cuts to him like 18 months later going, well, I hardly think about her anymore. And
that's right.
The guilt just completely subsides.
It's a great film.
Not seen it for years. I might watch it this weekend, actually.
Well worth watching. I mean, I think it's a fantastic film. I saw it again about 2 or 3 years ago, and I thought, why isn't this film more famous? I mean, well, all right, at the time it did reasonable business, as all Woody Allen's films do, reasonable business, never any more than that, apart from Annie Hall.
Every now and then one of them will kind of pop up. There about 10 years ago, they had like a big season, and it was Manhattan Murder Mystery and Crimes and Misdemeanors and a few of the slightly more obscure ones that are actually pretty good. 58:30, Mr. Kellner. So I'm keeping quiet.
No problem at all.
I'm keeping quiet.
Oh, God, so I've got to fill off more than 30 seconds with what I've got in the show, that is
like
going to be
Christmas
so
gift to you.
difficult. Yes, going to be so difficult. The main thing in the show is the fact that we're not playing the usual music that we play out of the advertising breaks. We're playing a bit of Christmas music. We're acknowledging the fact that, but we're not playing Last Christmas or Merry Christmas Everybody. We're playing Swinging Sleigh Ride by Joe Mr. Piano Henderson, etc. So lots of stuff for the teenagers. We've got that, and we've got our usual politics and all that stuff. But we have got some actually quite good stuff. And tomorrow, we've got the guy who's written the Ken Dodd book. That's that at 58:30.
He was supposed to come on my show. What a way to end back on New Year's. Ta-ta.
This is
Talk Radio.